So look, let me be real with you for a second. There are so many free courses here on YouTube of people telling you that you're gonna make money with this business model, or they're gonna show you everything that has to do with that business model. But in reality, a lot of it is just noise or just outdated and doesn't actually work anymore. Not to mention, a lot of them just kind of sound like a sales pitch instead of just actually showing you how to do it and giving you genuine value. So this is going to be none of those things. What you're about to watch is something that is completely step-by-step from beginning to end. In this video, you're gonna understand copywriting and you're gonna understand how to use it in order to make money, ideally $10,000 per month or more. Now, I've made these types of videos before in the past, and they have gotten millions of views on each of them. But in this video, it's gonna be more updated to 2026, the actual most up-to-date things that are working right now, and also some creative strategy as well. Now, don't worry if you don't understand what that even means, we're going to get into it shortly. But what's most important is that you actually know and understand that this is working for people right now. And I've done interviews with over a dozen of them here on this very channel, people who have hit 10K per month, 15K per month, and 20K per month plus. And each and every single one of them started at zero. They were watching a YouTube video just like you are watching right now. So realistically, what you're watching right now is the video that I desperately wished existed when I was first starting out as well. So with all that being said, clear your schedule, clear out all those empty, useless tabs, take out some pen and paper, and let's get started. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, here we are inside of the free copywriting course, more specifically the Creative Strategy Edition, updated for 2026, because there's been a huge amount of changes going on in copywriting. And honestly, right now is by far the best time I've ever seen to genuinely get started. The reasons why is I'll kind of go over as we go on. But first I want to address the elephant in the room, which is why should you even care in the first place? Right? I already told you about some people who are winning. I already told you that we had a huge playlist of student success stories, but I want to actually read out their genuine stories so that you can see what helped them, what they're actually sharing with other people, and where they are right now. So this is Ethan, for example. He said, I'm not going to lie, I have memorized/watched the creative analysis so many times, which is basically just creative strategy videos. And when I yapped about it to the lead creative strategist at this brand, bro was bamboozled. And bro just onboarded me for 2.5K for the first month and 5K per month after that from one client, mind you. Let this be a lesson that you guys need to lock in with creative analysis and creative strategy. Someone else said, yo bro, hope all is well. I haven't talked to this student for a little bit. And he just said, just wanted to let you know that I reached my first 20K month, a lot more to come, working with a new e-commerce brand doing north of $25 million per month plus. And of course, the biggest info guy in the space, as you know. Then we had another win recently. I actually have an interview with her coming up as well. She said, just closed another 6K per month e-com agency. Agreed to 6K because I impressed them with the brands that I've worked before in the past. Going to be handling campaign plus the flow emails as well. And then she said, I'm officially at 20K, guys. I cannot comprehend it. I'm literally in tears. Someone else also saying that they were going to be hitting 8.5K this month. So those are all big money ones. I want to also read out this one as well. This guy named Adrian, he posted saying, wish me luck, guys. I have 2 interviews tomorrow and I am nervous. But I mean, getting on interviews was my goal. So what did I really expect? Anyways, I'm telling you, keep applying to creative strategy roles on X and on LinkedIn. I got both of these interviews without any experience. So these would be my very first creative strategy roles. Again, you don't need any experience to actually make this work. My man Dong Yu also was talking about how he closed a test project that I helped him make and I reviewed, and he is at 2K per month and it can easily scale to $4,000 per month, 4,000 euros actually, I believe that is, per month plus. So we just wanted to give a thanks. Now look, we could go on and on and on and on. I actually have some more of these wins kind of peppered throughout the video because I love attaching proof to everything that I'm showing you and everything that I'm doing, because there's a lot of people who just don't have the proof. They tell you all day, oh yeah, people are winning with this, people are doing that, people are doing this, but they, again, don't actually show it, which is why I wanted to come out and be a little bit different and actually prove it. So here is the pre-course checklist. You're gonna know everything and learn everything that all those people have already known and already learned. You're gonna start exactly where they started because this is what I gave them as well. First things first, pay 100% attention. I recommend 1x or even 0.75 speed, guys. I'm not gonna be talking super duper slow. I know that some people, you gotta crank them up to 3x speed in order for it to even sound like 1x. This video is not going to be like that. I'm going to be going through things very quickly, concisely. So I recommend 1x or even 0.5x speed so you can genuinely write it down. This video is meant to be studied, not just watched, not just consumed while you're just eating a bowl of cereal. You have to genuinely pay attention. Next is to take notes, and notes by hand is going to be better by far. And again, I actually practice what I preach. This is my daily schedule. I write out by hand every single day. I could just do it on a computer. I could do it with some notes thing, but I choose to do it there. And then when I'm taking notes and things, I like to just also write them by hand as well. I like to write them by hand in cursive so that they are extra slow. It forces me to slow down. And in a world where we are pressured and we are told to consume as much as possible, as fast as possible, and your minds are literally just addicted to dopamine and brain rot, you forcing yourself to slow down is what's really going to help you learn and dig into all the things that I'll be teaching you here. Next is to bookmark this video for later. I have an example what this looks like. You can just go down, comment your timestamp, because this is going to be a long video. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be going genuinely in depth with everything. I'm going to be doing demonstrations. I'm even going to be showing you actual interviews that I have had with real creative strategy brands and businesses. Interviews. They're going to be asking me questions. I'm going to be answering those questions. I'm going to show you how I even got on those interviews, the portfolio that I've built, the test projects that I had to do in order to move on to the next stage of the hiring process, and everything in between. I'm literally showing you. I'm not just teaching you. I'm not just telling you what to do. I'm showing you what I have done and what I am actively doing. Next, ask all your questions below. Me, the team, and other viewers will be able to reply and answer pretty much anything for you. You can think of the comment section below this video as almost like a messaging board, like r/copywriting creative strategy or something. Next is to download the free resources that come with this video. So not only are you getting the video, you're also getting the templates and some more lessons that didn't even make it to YouTube. Because I'm not gonna lie, like I said before, YouTube is somewhere where you have to upload something that keeps people's attention and tons of views, etc., etc. But if you want to really get into the weeds and genuinely look at all this stuff, I wouldn't say it's boring, but it is more tactical than the stuff here on YouTube, because YouTube, again, performance is huge here. So all those things are within the free copy starter kit, which is down below. I'm going to show you more of what's actually inside that as we go on as well. And finally, let the people in the comments know that you're starting soon. I actually didn't even encourage people to do these on my last videos, but this is like half of the comments on all those videos is, hey guys, I'm starting on this course on February 18th, 2026. Wish me the best. We'll be back in April. We'll be back some other time, because we'd love to hear your story and people want to know if it's going to work for them, right? It will help people invest their time and energy and have a better understanding if they go through the comments and see that it's working for other people. So with all that being said, I want to start with copywriting, what copywriting is and how it has changed in 2026. All right, so copywriting in 2026 and what has changed. Let me just go over a quick definition of what copywriting even is for those who are just starting or just don't really know quite yet. Copywriting essentially is you writing marketing materials for businesses, and that is it. That's all. Now, it sounds extremely simple and it sounds too good to be true and it sounds too easy. You mean I just have to write for a business and I can earn over $10,000? I can earn over $20,000 per month? That sounds way too good to be true. And it is if you don't understand copywriting properly. See, I'm not showing you how to become a copywriter. I'm showing you how to become a performance copywriter. And a performance copywriter is more of a marketer than just a writer. What that means is you are taking full accountability of the outcome for a business. And with more responsibility comes obviously more quote unquote like risk, which is why a lot of people are not super willing to hire you for big numbers at first. You're going to have to work your way up. But that's also why you're able to make so much money, is because if you're able to make a brand an extra $100,000 per month, which is not even crazy, there are a lot of D2C or e-commerce brands that are making over $1 million per month. So if you increase their revenue by 10%, that's an extra $100,000 per month. They're so happy with paying you $5K. They're so happy with paying you $8K, because that's really a small portion of what you've already contributed to their bottom line. I'm going to show you how to do that with more specifically creative strategy copywriting as well. But now you know what copywriting is. Now you know why it actually pays so much as well. So look, if you are learning from content that's even 2 or 3 years old, you might be building on a foundation that doesn't actually reflect what the market actually looks like today, which is why I needed to make another version of the full, complete free copywriting course. I asked my audience, what is the best secondary skill for copywriting? 34% said email marketing, 54% said creative strategy, and 11% said landing pages. Why is that important? That is so important because if I would have ran this exact same poll, maybe like 1 or 2 years ago, first of all, nobody would even really know what creative strategy is. But if I would have ran this poll back then, everybody would be saying email marketing only. Creative strategy is a brand new thing that's just come about. And the reason as to why, one of the reasons why it's so powerful is one, you're able to really harness and use AI in order to build this and become more efficient at it. And also because there have been some changes in the algorithms on things like Facebook that actually makes this position, creative strategy, just that much more valuable. But we're going to get into that here shortly as well. So like I said, AI changed what the clients will actually need. Here's the shift that most people are going to miss. A few years ago, clients needed copywriters to write things. Emails, sales pages, social captions. The writing itself was the product. You were paid in order to give and produce a deliverable. Now, AI can write a passable version of most of those things, which means the value of just writing has compressed even more than it was back then. Because 3 years ago, 5 years ago, closer to when I started, I already caught on to, if I wanted to make big money, again, I had to boost up my accountability and responsibility for these brands. So not only would I write the emails, but I would also do the email marketing. I would also put together the funnels for them as well. And I would be responsible for the outcomes. And now, more than ever, the outcomes is actually even more important. So AI can write, but what AI can't do is think strategically about a brand, understand what makes a specific consumer or customer tick, and identify the gap between what the market is saying and what hasn't been said yet, and build a concept that actually converts at scale. That's all human skill. And that's what commands the highest rates right now. Copywriters who are struggling in 2026 are the ones who are still selling the writing. The ones who are thriving are the ones who are selling the thinking. Now, all you really need to know about this, right, is that you get paid for your thoughts. You get paid for the results, not getting paid for the writing. This is the first big barrier that people come up to when they think that, oh, well, copywriting sounds too good to be true, or copywriting is just about writing. And having those thoughts is why they struggle. The reason why you're able to get paid so much and why anyone can actually do this is because results is what actually matters. And really quick, I actually wanted to go over some creative strategy position examples. See, there are so many people who know that they need creative strategy. The demand is right there in front of your face. You don't even need to believe me. And this is where I truly, truly believe in creative strategy in copywriting, because in all of these other business models, the demand is hypothetical. Oh man, if you made this AI automation, everybody would want it. Okay, but why? And are they actually asking for it, or are you trying to convince them that they need it? You see, there's two main types of ways that you can make money. You can try to generate demand, or you can try to take a hold and use demand that is already there. And let me tell you, using demand that's already there and not having to convince somebody that they need something is always going to be such a smoother and easier path. So let me actually show you creative strategy position examples. Here we have a guy named Jack Robinson. He's saying that they're hiring a junior creative strategist. So not somebody with 25 years of experience, not somebody with a crazy degree. It could just be you watching this video right now. If you go through and practice all the things that I show you here in this video, you are going to be a junior creative strategist. So this one is for you. Client spends over $1 million per month testing direct response ads, and we're looking for someone obsessed with understanding why ads work. This role is ideal for someone who is early in their creative strategy career who wants to learn a performance D2C marketing team. You'll be responsible for all of those things. And we are looking for somebody who loves studying ads, naturally curious, wants to become elite, thrives in a fast-paced environment, and $30,000 to $42,000 per year. That's about $3,000 to $4,000 per month. And here's the great part about all of these positions is that they are usually extremely flexible hours. So you don't have to work 9 to 5. You can literally just work whenever you get a free moment. You can do most of them, 99% of them, part-time. This might take you 10 to 20 hours per week. You get 2 positions just like this one, and you're already at what, 6K or 8K per month. Or like this other guy, for example, who's hiring 4 creative strategists at Hume Health over the next 2 to 3 weeks. They're remote, full-time, and they're $6,000 to $8,000 per month plus performance bonuses. You can make over 10K per month just with this guy, and he's hiring 4 creative strategists, not just one, because brands are going to need multiple creative strategists to come up with the best ad creatives. Now, if you don't understand what this position is, what it entails, don't worry, we're going to get down into the nitty-gritty details. But first, I just wanted to show you the actual demand that it exists, and it is genuinely out there. And then lastly, we have another example. This guy says he's hiring a creative strategist, full-time and remote. We're looking for top-tier creative strategists. What you'll do is you'll create ads for 7 to 9-figure D2C e-commerce brands. I'm going to be translating all that very shortly. Don't worry if it kind of sounds Chinese to you right now. And some of these positions are saying that they want you to have worked with a brand before, or they want, this is not a starting role, or this is not a junior creative strategist role. That's okay. So 2 things here. The first thing is that I've seen so many people apply where this is like their first client, or this would be their first client. The person saying, yeah, I want you to have a degree, a bachelor's in this and that. I want you to have worked with a brand making $1 bajillion before. But because the person applied correctly, kind of like I'm about to show you right now, because the application and the test project and their interview, all those things were so on point, they didn't care. They actually got hired anyways. First client for a senior copywriter position. It does happen. Again, quality is what's genuinely going to move you forward here, which I'll show you how to do. But first, I want to unpack why creative strategy is so important and what creative strategy really is. So let me give you a quick definition of creative strategy. You are just making the ads for businesses. So instead of just writing the ads, you are in charge of figuring out which ads are going to perform well. The only difference between you just writing the ads and you doing the ad creative strategy is that it's the strategy. You are creating a strategy, you're creating a hypothesis. So all it really takes is noticing patterns. You tested these 5 ads. 4 of them didn't work very well, and all of those 4 were static ads, meaning just pictures. One of those ads was a user-generated content ad, meaning it was an ad where an actor comes on and talks about the product and whatever it was. And that ad did really well. We should do more UGC ads. Now, that's a very oversimplified version of creative strategy, but that's basically it. That's genuinely all, and that is it. You are researching the personas, meaning the audience that you are writing to. You are researching the competitors, and you're researching the brand and the business itself. Once you've done all of those things, you are now a creative strategist. You can now get paid upwards of $10K per month from a single client, especially when we learn about the Andromeda update and fleshing this out a little bit more so you really understand how it changed paid advertising forever. See, if you're going into creative strategy specifically, this is the most important thing to understand about the current landscape. Meta, which is the company that owns Facebook, rolled out the Andromeda update, which fundamentally changed how their algorithm works, right? And since Meta has done this, you can bet that pretty much every other social media platform is going to do this exact same thing as well. Before, Andromeda brands could get very precise about who saw their ads. Tight targeting meant you could have average creative. The creative refers to the video or the ad visuals or the ad itself, and still get decent results because you were showing your ad to exactly the right people every single time. Because you could just go into the settings and pick, I want this ad to go to 31-year-old moms. After the Andromeda update, Meta shifted to much broader targeting. The algorithm now decides who sees your ad based on how much more heavily on the quality of the creative itself. In plain language, the hook is now the targeting. The angle is now the audience selection. If you start the video saying, hey, 31-year-old moms, how's it going? Or 31-year-old moms who are busy, how's it going? Then that's who Facebook is going to show it to you. Whereas before, you could just target. You didn't even really need to call people out in the ad creative. So if your creative speaks specifically and emotionally to one type of person, the algorithm finds more people like them. And if your creative is generic and speaks to nobody in particular, the algorithm has nothing to work with and your ad will die quietly. This is why creative strategy has exploded as a role and as a skill. Brands can no longer rely on targeting to carry mediocre creative. The creative has to do the heavy lifting, and the brands that understand this are investing heavily in the people who can make this happen. And that's the version of copywriting that is thriving in 2026. And that's what this course is going to teach you. Not exclusively, but it's going to focus on it as well. And as you saw in some of the wins over there, people are still crushing it with emails. People are still crushing it even with landing pages and building funnels. But I've already done tons and tons and tons of videos on all of those topics. So in this one, again, we're going to focus on creative strategy. But if you want to understand emails, if you want to understand landing pages, dude, I have so many free courses ranging from 1 hour all the way up to 16-hour courses right here on this video. Yes, I am a little bit crazy. I've done this like nuts. I've been pumping out the most value here on YouTube by far. So let's go a little bit deeper into what creative strategy actually is by first talking about what it is not. When most people hear the term, they picture something like someone sitting in a glass office at an ad agency wearing a turtleneck and drawing on a whiteboard. Ooh, creative strategist. They're like a graphic designer or something. That's not what it is. Let me break it down so somebody that a 12-year-old could understand it. Imagine you own a company that sells a supplement. Let's say it's a magnesium gummy that helps people sleep better. You want to run ads on Instagram and TikTok to sell it. So you hire a video editor to film the ads and put them together. You hire someone to run the actual ad account and manage the budget. And you need someone to actually come up with the ideas for what the ads should actually say and do. The last person is the creative strategist. Not filming anything, not editing anything, you're not touching the ad account or figuring out ad budgets or any of the technical stuff. Your job is to come up with the idea, the concept, the angle, the hook, and what makes people stop scrolling through cat videos at 11 p.m. and actually watch your ad about a magnesium gummy. You think everyone else executes. Now, let me explain what it actually looks like in a day-to-day basis. Let's say you're working with a skincare brand selling a vitamin C serum. Monday, you're researching their ads, their competitors' ads, some Amazon reviews, Reddit threads, because you're doing all this persona research as well. And you're building a picture of who the customer is and what language they use to describe their problem. Tuesday, you're concepting 5 or 6 different ad ideas based on everything that you found. They have different hooks, different angles, and different emotional entry points. Wednesday, you are writing briefs. A brief is just a document that tells the video team exactly what to make and why. They have to know what visuals go along with the ad creative as well. Because not only are you making an actual hook saying, hey, moms that are 31, but what does the video show? Does it show a 31-year-old mom in a minivan? Because that would speak to their persona way better. But how would the editing team know that? Or how would the UGC creators know that unless you specifically point it out? So not only are you doing the scripting, but think of yourself as a director. It's like a screenplay. You have to say what's actually going on as well. Then Thursday and Friday, you're reviewing performance data. What's working? What isn't? What can be improved? That informs everything that you concept next week. Research, concept, brief, analyze, repeat. That's the whole job. I'm gonna break it down and just demonstrate it in front of you here shortly, but that's what you need to know so far. Yo, what is up, everybody? It is your boy Tyson4D, and we are back yet again. And now I want to move on to the next section. Different day, same course. Let's talk about why this is such a great opportunity in the perspective of the math. Okay, let's make sure that the math is mathing. Let's make it actually make sense, because I like to not only understand the opportunity from one way, but also get multiple different perspectives on this. So we already heard about Andromeda. We already heard about marketing and why you are responsible for the outcomes. Now I want to talk about those specific outcomes and how the numbers actually make sense in the form of an example. So here's the thing you need to understand about e-com advertising in 2026. D2C brands, which means direct to consumer. That basically means that they're not being sold in Walmart. They're not being sold at Target. They are being sold directly to the consumer online. That's what D2C brands means. Basically, any brand that sells a product directly to the customers online are spending more on advertising than they ever have before. We're talking $50,000 a month, $200,000 a month, sometimes even millions per month as well. And here's the problem that they all have. To run ads at that level effectively, you need to constantly be testing new creatives, new hooks, new angle, new concepts, because ads get fatigued. The same ad that was crushing 6 weeks ago is now invisible because people have seen it too many times. Okay, the ad fatigue is killing the ads, and they need to come up with new stuff all the time, and new stuff that's better and actually works better. So the profit margins might look like this. They might be spending $600,000 on ads, but they're making 2.4 million on those same ads that they're spending 600,000 on. And if that's the case, then they know, okay, well, let's scale these ads. Instead of spending 600,000, let's see if we can scale while still maintaining profit. That might look like, okay, instead of spending 600,000 this month, let's spend $1 million in a month and see where it goes. And now instead of 2.4, they're getting $3 million per month, just because they are scaling that one ad. Now, eventually, the relationship between what they're spending and what they're making back is going to decrease to where maybe they're spending 800,000 and only making back 850,000. At that point, you know, okay, it's barely even really profiting. So now it's time to refresh something, make a brand new angle. Or maybe the profitability gets even better over time. You never really know. That's why looking at the actual numbers and the data is so important, which we will be looking at here in this video. I don't want to get too much in the weeds on data, because at the end of the day, you got to get a creative strategy role before you truly get to use the data. But don't worry, we're going to be going over some examples here where actual data is going to be shown for us. So continuing on. The other big question is, how does someone with no experience and limited time become a creative strategist? Because let's be honest, chances are you have limited time. Gosh knows that I did way back in the day. I was a carpenter, and I was also in the army as well. And on top of that, I was also a security guard, doing all those jobs at once, trying to figure out, how am I going to make enough money on the side to where I can replace my main income with it? And then when I have that side hustle become my main hustle, my main income, how do I scale that? That is the main $1 million question right there. And I was able to do it with copywriting. And here's how. This is the question I get more than any other. Okay, because I had no experience. You saw those 3 jobs that I had. They were not transferable skills. I know how to shoot a machine gun and clean a rifle. I know how to securely guard some stuff, and I know how to build a house. I know how to frame a house, at least. So where does that leave me? that leaves me as somebody who is just going to be working in the trades for their entire life. And the trades aren't bad, but it just wasn't for me. It just wasn't for me. The true version starts with a story. Imagine 2 guitarists show up for an audition for a band. Guy 1 has been playing guitar for 5 years. He's got the resume. He's been in bands before. On paper, he looks like the obvious choice. Guy 2 has only been playing for 3 months. But when guy 2 picks up the guitar, he starts playing, the whole room stops. His technique is clean, his feel is there, and he understands the song. He sounds like someone who's been doing this for years. He's absolutely shredding. Who gets the spot in the band? Especially if guy 1 doesn't really sound that good. It's gonna be guy 2. Because the band doesn't care how long you've been playing. It might be a factor. They care more about how you sound right now. Are you actually going to be a great addition to this band? Let us see what you actually have. And what you actually have is what you're going to be judged on far more than any other thing. And it's funny enough, I have an interview, which I'm going to be showing you here shortly. And in that interview, a business owner tells me the exact same thing. He owns a agency that does creatives for e-commerce brands. And he said, I really don't put that much value on experience, because the test project that you did is realistically what your experience, quote unquote, actually is. So the creative strategy works the exact same. This is what I mean when I say experience and social proof are 2 completely different things. Social proof is past clients, testimonials, and years on a resume. You either have it or you don't, and you can't manufacture it overnight. Experience is what you actually can do right now, and that can build starting today. The guy with 5 years who's never really studied the craft is equivalent to someone who's picked up a guitar, learned 3 chords, and then just played those same 3 chords for 5 years without ever really improving. The guy with 3 months who's been obsessively studying, practicing, and getting feedback every single day has compressed what would normally take years into months. That compression is exactly what's possible with creative strategy right now. Because the tools available today, the AI workflows, the ad libraries, the research tools, mean that someone who is genuinely focused can build more real-world applicable knowledge in 30 days than someone could in a year without those tools 5 years ago. You're not starting from zero, you're starting with better instruments than anyone who came before you ever had access to. So the bird's eye view answer to how someone with no experience and limited time can become a creative strategist is this, what I'm about to tell you right now. You don't wait until you feel ready. You build the skill while you're going after the opportunity at the same time. You study winning ads every day. You do the work before anyone pays you to do it. You apply before you have a perfect portfolio. And you let the reps compound faster than anyone thinks is possible because you're using every tool available to you to articulate the process. The guitarist who gets the spot in the band isn't the one who practiced the longest. It's the one who's practiced the smartest. And I want to bring it all home and wrap it all in, the Tyson 4D way. My man Jonathan answered somebody's question. Someone was asking in the 4D bootcamp, my private community, they were asking, hey man, should I just lie about my experience? And while you might not have said or asked the exact same thing, many people are going to be wondering the exact same thing. And his answer was this: I got my first client by being honest that I didn't have a lot of experience, but I sent over my practice copy and he liked it. That's it. That's really as simple as it gets. Someone else here, a head of copywriting, posted on LinkedIn. I thought this was a very interesting post. He said, I've probably screened 100 or so copywriters over the last year as a hiring manager. One thing I've seen consistently is that years of experience means very little when it comes to actual skill set. I've seen career copywriters with over a decade of experience who couldn't name a single copywriting framework or clearly explain the strategy behind why they structured a landing page in a specific way. And you'll have a green conversion copywriter with maybe like 2-3 years of experience who are just starting out with killer portfolios who can back up over 80% of the copy decisions that they made with a solid strategic rationale. Mic drop. Okay? All the things that I'm telling you here is being affirmed with all the information that's also available for anybody and everybody. Now I'll give you some examples. Then I'm going to actually show you me breaking down ads live. We're going to watch the videos together. Then we're going to be doing some test projects together. Then I'm going to be showing you some of my live interviews. And we're going to go from there. Here's a very simple, basic, easy example. And then I'm going to apply this structure example to 2 different types of ads. So let's go over it. The structure. Fear hook to start. Okay, so what kind of hook? See, there are many different types of overarching structures, and then there are many different types of substructures. And once you've been analyzing enough ads, you will have all of this within your head already. It's almost just like learning a language. And the best way to learn that language is to submerge yourself in the culture. The best way to learn French isn't to sit on Duolingo or whatever and try to study it. It's to just go to France or Quebec or whatever kind of dialect of French that you would like to learn. So fear hook, as opposed to a promise hook. A fear hook is you could be missing out on $5,000 per year on your tax returns. That's a fear hook. A promise hook is I'm going to show you how to master the cello in 30 days and impress all your friends. That's a promise hook. And there are many different types of hooks, but a fear hook is the first one. I'm not going to spend this much time on each different part of the subject of the structure. Then we have an open loop or a big promise. So fear hook, big promise. Then authority intro. My name is XYZ. I've been doing this for this many years, that many that. Failed alternative number 1, 2, and 3. You've probably tried this thing, the other thing, and the other thing after that. Next is the hidden root cause. You think that the reason you can't get to sleep is because of your sleep routine, when in reality, it is your pillow. It is your sleep tracking or whatever. Next is the problem mechanism. So this is definitely what I need to explain. A mechanism is simply just a method. A unique mechanism is a unique method. So kind of like I was talking about before, let's go back to let's go to an exercise example. You want to burn the most amount of calories. What are most people going to do? They're going to walk, they're going to run, they're going to get on a Peloton and start cycling. But what if there was a way that you can burn maximum calories with the least discomfort possible, but actually making it fun? Well, the way that we do this is by using those those like bungee cords that are hooked up to your pants and you're just flying around the room. All right, editor, put that up on screen right now. That is their unique mechanism. That's their unique way to get to the goal that you actually want. The reason why these unique mechanisms are so important is because it will differentiate yourself from everybody else. It will give people that actual light bulb discovery moment. Oh, this is actually what I need. A problem mechanism is what specific part is a problem that they don't think it is. So you think everything's about your calories, right? Calories in and calories out, but that's an oversimplified version. Because if that was the case, then everybody would be slim and have their dream body. So if it's more than calories in, calories out, what is the actual problem behind it? The problem is, the example I used last time is adherence, basically. How do you properly adhere to all this stuff? Well, you have to make it fun, you have to make it easy, and you have to make it enjoyable, and you have to make it whatever, right? That's the unique problem mechanism. Next is the cost of inaction. Every single week you go without doing this, it becomes harder to lose weight later, because chances are you're not just stagnant and stuck at your weight, you're probably gaining even more weight and you don't even know it, because the weight creeps up on you so slowly that after a week you won't even gain a pound. After 2 weeks you won't even gain a pound. And then after 3 weeks you'll have gained 4 pounds, just like that. That's how it works. Next is the product intro. Introducing whatever the product is. It's very self-explanatory. Next is the solution mechanism. So it uses special resistance band technology to where normal weights only just use gravity and they're okay, but resistance makes it so that your muscle is at all times being stressed and stretched in the full range of motion, and it gets harder the more you're contracting. That might be the special unique mechanism for the solution. Transformation 1, short term. Transformation 2, long term. So in the short term, you're going to notice better workouts and better pumps. In the long term, you're going to notice gigantic bulging biceps that are going to rip the sleeves off of your shirts. Social proof. Here are some examples. This guy did it, that guy did it, and these guys did it. And there are these studies from Harvard that also back up the same claim. Price anchoring. And you might be thinking, wow, this is like $1,000. No, it's only 500. And then risk reversal. And if you don't like it, we'll send it back to you. 0 strings attached in the first 30 days. Scarcity. Usually they're out of stock, but if you order right now and check, they could have it shipping to your country. Call to action. Click the link below and go watch it. Call to action is just telling them what to do. Scarcity is simply just telling them why it's hard to get right now. Okay? So there's limited time scarcity, meaning, oh, this is only going on for the next 1 week, or scarcity in the terms of there's only 100 left, or they're sometimes out of stock. That sort of thing. Risk reversal, just like how it sounds. There's risk. They feel like, well, what if I get it and it doesn't work? If you reverse the risk, money back guarantee, don't worry about it. Price anchoring. Oh, yes. Price anchoring is when you give them a price to anchor at. Like, oh, you know, when you know something's like, oh, it's like $7,000. And then like, well, now it's $6,000, right? I just told you it was $7,000. That was the first price that I gave, but now I'm telling you it's 6. That's always going to be better than just telling somebody it's straight up 6, because they feel as though they are getting a deal. And then the format itself. So there are many different types of formats. This one is an authority-led VSL, so it might be a founder UGC ad. Founder, meaning the person who actually founded the company, owns the business. UGC means user-generated content. Literally just a video, like one of me right now talking to you. That is a very short example of a script structure. Okay, this is the script. It's not necessarily the brief. The brief is more like you directing it. What videos and visuals are going to come up on screen? That's the brief. We're going to be talking about that a little bit later, but that's it. You just learned how to do creative strategy. You just learned your very first structure. You can literally take this, like copy it, paste it somewhere, and then use it for whenever you are making ads for a product. Okay, so I just gave you a ton of like off the dome examples, but now I have some real examples. So one is for a mattress brand, the Fear Hook. What if your mattress is the reason you wake up exhausted every single morning? Open loop. In the next 60 seconds, I'll show you why thousands of people are sleeping deeper without pills, expensive gadgets, or changing their bedtime routine. Authority intro. I'm a certified sleep coach, and I've been, over the last decade, helped more than 8,000 people improve their sleep quality. Build alternatives. Maybe you've tried melatonin or blackout curtains and white noise machines, or maybe spending thousands on a luxury mattress that felt great in a showroom, but not 6 months later. Bro, so true, dude. It's so true. I picked the softest mattress I couldn't sleep on it. Literally every night. This is a side note. When you lay on a mattress, it's completely different than when you sleep in a mattress. Because when you sleep in a mattress, right? If I were to sleep in the mattress with my wife, then first of all, it's both of our weight on the mattress, and we are under a blanket. So our body heat warms up the mattress, which makes it sink even more. Dude, by the time I wake up, I like got scoliosis. It's insane. Hidden root cause. This is actually a perfect ad for me. I'm walking myself into it. The problem usually isn't that you can't sleep. It's that your body never reaches deep restorative sleep because your mattress isn't properly supporting your pressure points. Very unique mechanism. Problem mechanism. When your hips and shoulders sink unevenly, your muscles stay slightly engaged all night instead of fully relaxing. That means your brain keeps you waking up to reposition even if you don't remember it. Cost of inaction. Over time, poor sleep doesn't just leave you tired, it affects your mood, recovery, focus, productivity, and even long-term health. Product intro. That's exactly why I created the Dream Rest Hybrid Mattress. Solution mechanism. Its zoned support system keeps your spine aligned while pressure relieving memory foam cushions your joints, helping your body stay comfortable throughout the night. Transformation 1, short term. Most customers notice they fall asleep faster and wake up feeling more refreshed within the first week. Long term. Over the following months, better sleep becomes your new normal and giving you more energy, better workouts, and more productive days. Social proof. Over 25,000 customers have already switched to Dream Rest with 5,000 five-star reviews praising its comfort and durability. Price anchoring. Instead of spending thousands on a luxury mattress or years of trying different sleep products, risk reversal, try Dream Rest for 100 nights. If you don't love it, we'll pick it up and give you a full refund. Scarcity. Our current sale ends this Sunday and inventory is limited. Call to action. Click below and see why so many people are finally getting the sleep they've been missing. Easy. You're literally just filling in the blanks. That's basically all it is, filling in the blanks. Now, you're gonna need to come up with multiple of these per month, probably like 20 to 30 per month per client, most likely. Like the people I know might come up with like 5 to 10 creatives in total every single day, every day. So you're gonna need a lot of ideas, right? The writing is not really the hard part. The harder part is figuring out which angles and ideas and formats you want to use. And that all comes out down to research as well. There's different types of research. There is brand research, as in the research for the brand that you're currently working with or working for or writing ads for. Competitor research, where you're researching the market, their close competitors, and then also their farther out competitors. So if it's this mattress company, their close competitor might be another mattress company, or a little bit farther away of a competitor might be the Aura ring that helps you with your sleep. But a very far competitor might be Dr. Squatch deodorant, where they're not necessarily competing each other, but they also have really good ads too. So what ads and ideas and formats and angles can you get from there as well? And then finally, you have persona research. Who is this ad specifically talking to? Who is it targeting? Well, it's not gonna be targeting kids who are like 11 and 12 because they obviously don't care that much about sleep. They sleep like babies anyways because they basically are babies and they don't have the money to buy a mattress. Okay. We ideally want people with some disposable income, enough disposable income for a mattress. You don't want people who are, completely dead broke. So you might talk about how hard it is working a corporate job with not having enough sleep. Or if you're making a testimonial UGC ad, remember that means user generated content ad, say something like, I'm a busy 30-year-old professional with 2 kids and sleep is just that much more important. Or we just have newborn baby and sleep is the most important thing. Yet it doesn't matter how much sleep I get, I still feel like I'm extremely tired. Who are you targeting? Just by saying those words, you're going to be targeting the people who are going to relate to the things that you're talking to. Okay. So that was a little bit of an aside, but still you're going to need to know a lot of these or all of these things. And I have another one. I want to show you how this one structure can be used for different things. So here's the second one. This is the meal delivery service, the Fear Hook. If you're eating takeout 3 or 4 times a week, it may be costing you far more than just money. Open loop. In the next minute, I'll show you how busy professionals are eating healthier while actually spending less time thinking about food. Authority intro. I'm a registered nutrition coach, and I've helped thousands of clients simplify healthy eating without restrictive diets. Maybe you've tried meal prepping every Sunday, or downloading calorie tracking apps, or promising yourself you'll cook every night after work. The real problem isn't motivation, it's decision fatigue. By the time you've worked all day, your willpower is already depleted. That's why grabbing takeout feels so much easier than grocery shopping, cooking, and cleaning. Those small daily decisions add up to thousands of dollars spent on takeout and make it much harder to stay healthy long term. That's why we built Fresh Fuel Meals. Every meal is chef prepared, high in protein, portion controlled, and delivered directly to your door, so the healthy choice becomes the easy choice. Within the first week, you'll spend less time on cooking and wondering what to eat. Over the following months, healthier eating becomes effortless, helping you lose weight, feel more energetic, and stay consistent without relying on motivation. More than 100,000 meals have already been delivered, with thousands of customers saying they finally stayed consistent after years of struggling. Instead of spending $20 or $30 every time you order takeout, try your first box risk-free. If you're not satisfied, we'll make it right. This week's introductory pricing is only available while meal slots remain open. Click below to claim your first order and make healthy eating the easiest part of your day. Pretty fire. And you know what I love about creative strategy is that you can pretty much always relate your personal experience and add that in here as well. So me personally, when I tried Factor meals, right? This is the Canadian version. I don't know if they have it anywhere else, but it's this exact same thing, meal delivery service, and you just microwave them. The problem with those is they tasted all right, but the fat was insane. I hate in 2026 how every company slaps high protein on everything, but nobody understands macros and the fat is just too much. I'm talking like 20 grams of fat per meal, brother. Yeah, it's insane. And also the sodium is nuts. And they're somewhat pricey, and sometimes the stuff that you get doesn't taste very good. Sometimes you forget to set which meals you want, so then they send you the random meals, and you're sent one nasty looking meal, but you have to eat it anyways because you got it. So what else are you gonna do with it? So those are my problems. Now, the reason why I bring that up, right, is that I can do persona research partly on myself. Now, I shouldn't just use just myself. I should at least corroborate it with other people as well. Here's the other thing. You need to be locked in with your persona. You need to know exactly what they are thinking. Let me go up and show you why this is important. When we go to the failed alternatives, if you get these wrong, or if you get how they're actually feeling themselves wrong, then they are not going to identify with your ad. It just will not happen. So here is what you need to do. You need to understand their problem better than they do, because when you do that, they will naturally look to you for the solution. So you need to know this spectrum. You need to know their fears. Fears is like the long-term downside. You need to know their problems and obstacles. That is like the short-term things that they're dealing with every single day. That's annoying, right? And the fears is like the cost of long-term inaction. Then on the next side of the spectrum, you need to know their wants. What are the things that they wish that they could get rid of, or the things that they want and can experience on a daily basis and in a short term? And then what is the long-term dreams? What is the real desire? They're able to make more money, focus more, be more present in their life, these sorts of things, okay? And being able to be hyper specific of them. For example, maybe you've tried meal prepping. That's specific. Maybe you've tried meal prepping every Sunday. That's hyper specific. That's like you need to be locked in gym bro to actually know that. Or downloading calorie tracking apps. See, the vague and the overused, you might think you understand the persona, but if you say something like, you've probably tried dieting, I mean, that's just too vague. That's not specific enough. You've probably tried losing weight. You step on the scale and it doesn't say what you wanted to say. I mean, that sounds like a Jenny Craig ad from like 20 years ago, okay? We have to be hyper locked in. When you think you know the persona, you need to do another 3 hours of research at least. When you think, okay, I think I got this, you need to do more. And only then do you know. And as you make more creatives, you have to keep continuing to do the research. It never actually stops. I'll show you how to do the research and more research here. Again, all that stuff's coming up. But for right now, I want to go over some copywriting and creative strategy basics and terms, okay? This is not just the copywriting basics on persuasion and technique, but also on data as well when it comes to creative strategy, because the data is going to tell you the feedback. Okay, so if you were doing email marketing, you have to look at how many opens you get. That will tell you how good your subject line is. You have to look at how many people clicked on the call to action. That will show you how great your CTA is or how persuasive the email itself was. And then you have to track how many people actually purchased. That will tell you how good the offer and how good the landing page is converting. And then with all of those pieces of data, you're able to infer what you can do to improve them. What is the bottleneck? Maybe everything was good, but there wasn't many people who opened. Well, how do we get those open rates up? Or a lot of people opened and a lot of people clicked on the page, but then nobody really bought. Well, how do we fix that? Then you understand which variables to focus on. And you're only ever going to be able to improve variables that you put all of your focus, time, and attention on. So that was with email marketing, so don't worry about that. But it's just another example. It's just a chain of events that you need to analyze and figure out how to manipulate in your desired way. So before we go into the how, we need to make sure that we're speaking the same language, because when it comes to creative strategy, especially copywriting too, there is legitimately a language barrier, because creative strategy has its own vocabulary. And if you walk into an interview or test project not knowing these terms, you're going to sound like someone who just showed up at the guitar audition not knowing what a chord is. So let's go through the core ones, simple and fast. The first one is the hook. The hook is the first 3 seconds of an ad. There's a visual hook, meaning what is on screen, what's happening right now. Then there is a spoken hook or a script hook. The hook has 3 seconds. Like I said, its only job is to stop people from scrolling, stop the scroll and get them to watch. That's it. It doesn't need to sell anything. It doesn't need to explain anything. It just needs to make someone pause long enough to see what comes next. Think about how you scroll through Instagram or TikTok. You're moving fast. Something catches your eye and your thumb stops. That's the thing that stopped your thumb. It's the hook. Everything else in the ad is irrelevant if the hook doesn't work, because nobody sees the rest. So if your hook sucks, doesn't matter if you have a amazing rest of the ad, nobody's going to see it and nobody really cares. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so last time we were talking about the hook, and now moving on with the rest of our definitions, we have the angle. And the angle is the specific lens in which you're looking at the product through. What angle are you using? Same product can have dozens, hundreds, thousands of infinite amount of angles. Take a simple product like a water bottle. You could angle it as a productivity tool for busy professionals, or as something that helps you drink more water and lose weight, or as the sustainable alternative to plastic, or as the thing that finally makes hydration a habit. There's so many different angles that you can look at it. Right now, I want you to do a really quick exercise. Think about how many more angles that you could use for a water bottle. So, for example, you could use it as something to just make you more healthy, something to stop yourself from getting cramps or headaches. A lot of people think that they're just random and they pop an aspirin, when in reality, they're just dehydrated. Or whenever you wake up in the middle of the night, you don't want a glass of water by you because a glass of water is going to get warm and dust is all going to form in it. And you never know, your dog could be like licking out of it while you're sleeping. But if you have a water bottle that stays cold and then you know that it's actually clean, right? I mean, there's an infinite amount of angles. So you understand an angle if all that made sense to you, and you can come up with more angles off the top of your head as well. Next is the brief. A brief is the document you hand the video editor and the video team and tells them exactly what to make. Now, a lot of the times businesses are going to hire video editors that are like from second world or third world countries. And that's not like necessarily a bad thing, but their comprehension and the comprehension with English might be lower. It might be harder to get the point across. You might have to make more revisions. There might be typos and things. So you have to really be a great director and tell them exactly what is going to happen on every single second. So it's not just a script. A strong brief includes the angle, why you chose it, the hook, and what it's designed to do, who is the target person that they are looking for, and what emotional state they're in when they see the ad, the key message, the rough script direction, and the CTA. The brief is how your thinking becomes someone else's execution. So basically you're handing them the entire screenplay, the entire everything, and then also some reasoning behind why. Okay. That way someone can look at it and be like, okay, this is their hypothesis. This is why we're testing the ad. This is who the ad is going for. This is what the actual ad is going to say. And this is what the ad is going to do and what it's going to look like. UGC. UGC stands for user-generated content. It's ads that are designed to look like organic content. You know, when you scroll through your phone, you see some person just so happens to be reviewing a product, or oh my gosh, guys, I was gonna gatekeep this, but this is just so good. That's all UGC ads. Like a real person talking to their phone camera, not a polished brand commercial. Think someone holding up a product in their bathroom saying, okay, I've been using this for 2 weeks and here's what happened. UGC performs incredibly well right now because it blends into the feed. It doesn't feel like an ad, and people are more likely to trust someone who looks like them than a brand talking at them. A huge portion of the brief you'll be writing as a creative strategist will be the UGC style concepts. And then there's different types of variations of UGC. So there's AI UGC. It's just like AI video of someone, right? Old people can't even tell the difference between AI and real life anyways. So you can just skip paying the UGC writer and waiting on them and trying to give them revisions, etc., and just go into Higgsfield or one of these other AI video creation tools and just do it up there. There's also founder UGC. There's also like couples UGC. So founder UGC, mentioned it before, the founder coming on and talking about what their actual experience was building the product, why they built the product. Relationship UGC is like two people in a relationship and they're just like, it looks like they're making very organic content. Hey babe, what is that you have there? Oh, this is my new gummies that boost my productivity or something, right? There's tons of different formats that you can go about it. Next is hook rate. So we learned what a hook is, but how do you measure how good the hook is? Well, this is hook rate. Hook rate is the percentage of people who watch past the first few seconds of your ad. If your hook rate is high, your opening is stopping the scroll. If it's low, your opening or people are seeing your ad and immediately swiping past it. They don't care. This is one of the first metrics you look at when you're analyzing the performance, because if your hook rate is bad, nothing else matters. Nobody is seeing the rest of the ad. Your hook rate might be just like okay, like if it's a 50 and you have a different one that is a 60, then you want to make sure that you try to reverse engineer, why did this one get a 60? Put that 60 on your 50, like let's say the 50, the one with the lower hook rate, which is still okay, but not great, got a really high ROAS. Well, an easy way to boost up that ROAS is to give it the hook rate or the hook from whatever had the best hook rate. And then that way you're meshing the ads together, right? You're making these inferences in order to boost the ads results. And that's exactly how you do it. I mean, it's 1 + 1 = 2. It's a little bit of patterns and problem solving, but It's really not rocket science. Next is ROAS, or return on ad spend, or kind of like ROI basically, but ROI referring to the ad spend itself. It tells you that for every dollar a brand spends on the ad, how many dollars are they getting back? A ROAS of 3 means that for every $1 they spend, they're making $3 back on average. A ROAS of 1 means that they are breaking even. Anything below 1 and they're losing money. Your creative directly impacts this number. Better hooks, better angles, better emotional pull, all push ROAS up. Weak creative burns budget. And this is a side story. I literally trained a copywriter, right? He was just starting out. And this is before, I guess, we were really pushing people to like, you got to get into creative strategy, et cetera. So he didn't know what ROAS was, and he got a client. So he got a client, and then he's like, yo, Tyson, is this 0.8 ROAS? Is that good? I had to explain what ROAS was from scratch. But the reason why I tell that is, again, knowing this stuff is great. You really do need to know this stuff. And this is not an excuse to just not study your stuff or think that you don't need to know any of it. But hey, man, anybody will get a client. Even a broken clock is right twice a day. I mean, the opportunity is out there. The opportunity is out there. He got the role because of his great attitude and not necessarily because of his crazy, spectacular skills, because he didn't even really know what the basis of all creative strategy really was. Next is CPA. CPA is the cost per acquisition. It tells you how much it costs to get one customer. If a product sells for $60 and the CPA is $15, the brand is in great shape. If the CPA is $70, then they're losing money on every sale. Again, your creative is the lever. The better your concepts, the lower the CPA. What does that really mean? Okay, so how much money does it cost you to get a buyer on average? So if I know it costs me $40 to get a buyer and my product, my average order value is $40. So when someone goes to, your ad and goes to buy something, they could buy something expensive. They could buy the whole bundle deal. I want 15 sticks of deodorant off rip. Or somebody might just want to dip their toes in and get 1 stick of deodorant. Those are going to be vastly different prices. That's what gives you your average order value. That's actually not here, but I mean, still, that's what gives you your average order value. And when it's a higher ticket item, like a mattress, for example, that's going to cost people $2,000, $3,000 most likely, or even hundreds of dollars, your CPA can be much higher, and that's all right. But if it's something small, like a pack of gummies, then you're going to want to obviously boost your average order value somehow, usually by bundling things or making sure that people buy enough stuff. And then on top of that, you also have your CPA, right? Your CPA as well. So the relationship between those two pretty much gives you your return on ad spend. All right, the concept. A concept is the full idea for an ad before it gets made. It's the angle plus the hook plus the emotional pulls, the rough direction, all packaged together into something that the team can actually execute. Think of it like a movie pitch. You're not writing the whole screenplay. You're giving someone enough of the idea so that they can see exactly what you're envisioning and go make. So for example, if the video you're watching right now was a concept, I would say, I want to build a brand new multi-hour long free copywriting course that's updated for the 2026 ideas. And inside of it, I'm going to be giving tons of value. I'm going to be showing my full interviews as well. I'm going to be showing full live breakdowns of creative strategy ad accounts. I'm going to be doing portfolio building in front of them, et cetera, et cetera. So that's the concept of the video. And then what you're watching right now is a whole video. Okay. This is obviously the slides that go with the video. So that's different from the concept. The concept's just the idea. Next is ad fatigue. Ad fatigue is what happens when an ad has been running long enough that the audience has seen it too many times and starts ignoring it. This is why brands constantly need fresh creative. Even a winning ad has a shelf life. Eventually, it stops working, not because the idea was bad or the idea got worse over time. It's just because people have seen it too many times, right? It's all the people who are in that niche or looking for that thing or susceptible to that marketing has already seen it. This is the core reason creative strategists have a job in the first place. The machine constantly needs to be fed new concepts or it stops producing. You can't just coast off of one great creative for the rest of time. And on top of that, you also want to find if you can eke out even better creatives, because you might have a creative that's doing all right, it's doing well, but if you come up with a new idea that's a banger, you'll be able to scale it to the moon. Next is the control. The control is the best performing ads currently running for your brand. It's like the baseline. It's the benchmark. Everything new you concept is being compared against the control. Your job is to beat it or find something that can eventually replace it. When you're studying a brand's ad account, the ads that have been running the longest are usually the current controls. Right? You're not able to actually see what all the ROAS is and know exactly what it is. Otherwise, anybody would be able to come on and steal it and just rip off somebody's brand. But those are the ones that you want to study the most carefully because they're telling you what the market actually responds to. So you know the numbers, you know the lingo, you have seen me talk about it for a while now, right? Maybe even coming up on an hour. And now it's time for you to actually watch me break down some creative strategy live. So what that's going to look like is I'll be coming on here, sharing my screen. I'll actually be on a live call. So anybody who's asking me questions on that live call, I'll be answering them there as well. So those questions are usually going to be ones that you guys are asking too. And I'm going to break them down in a way that I'm using all of the terms and definitions that we already talked about, but I'm breaking them down so that you guys are able to reverse engineer exactly what I'm doing. So you do the exact same thing that I'm doing here, you put it into your portfolio, and then people know that you can actually do creative strategy. That's how it all works. That's how it all goes together. So without any further ado, guys, that's what you're gonna see next, and enjoy. True Classics. And spoiler alert, I already looked through True Classics here yesterday, so let's look at this one.
Okay, 5'10", 200 pounds. We're gonna see if the True Classic shirts make me look like I'm in shape. A lot of jiggle.
Okay, so this one's good. 5'10", 200 pounds makes me look like I'm in shape. So all he's really doing there is giving his measurements. I see a lot of clothing brands do this because when I see someone say, hey, I'm 6'2", 200 pounds, then I know it's gonna fit me. And I'm like, oh, okay, good, right? That makes me feel way better. That whole you telling me your height and you're so good. I hate when brands are like, oh, here's the measurements, right? 38 inches around the chest. It's like, dude, I don't know that. I don't know that. Who's going to know that? So the questions are like, what does it do? And what are they doing right? And how can they do it even better? So let me pick like one more.
Crappy, classy, crappy, classy. Anytime you ever see high pro.
If you have the dad bod problem, I found the solution.
Dad bod angle. Okay.
So can the True Classic...
Notice how every celebrity...
They go with the celebrity angle a lot as well.
My butt hasn't looked this good since I was 30.
They go with the old guy butt. Okay. My wife threw out all my shirts when she found this. Okay, so we're just going to pick this one. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this. I'm going to go to brand breakdown. Current ad. I'm going to go here. I'm just going to hop into chat and say, I want you to answer this for my creative strategy portfolio. And then I'm going to do that and say the ad is a guy saying, what was the last one we looked at? Put this on the screen too for you guys. The guy saying, oh yeah, his wife threw out all his old shirts after finding this shirt. So it's going to give us some answers. Now, this stuff right here is like placeholder stuff. You don't want to copy and paste this directly for obvious reasons. It's going to feel very AI generated. But again, if you're trying to throw something together and you want to use your mind for this, so primary angles, transformation, product superiority through social proof, I'd also put like a wife angle there as well. Creative type. So UGC, which is user-generated content, founder/style testimonial. Hook, my wife threw out my old shirts after she found this shirt. Core messaging, the shirt is much better than every other shirt I've owned, and my wife wanted me to replace my entire wardrobe with it. Awareness level, product aware. The viewer already understands what a shirt is and likely has frustrations with it, etc. Why it works. Some reasons why it works. Again, I would clean up this. I wouldn't put 10 different points as to why it works. That's not really needed. And I'll also cut this down a little bit, etc. I would do that for 5 different ads or so. Now I'd say, now give me 10 short ideas of new angles for ads like this. So this is one way I would do it. The alternative way I would do it is just go back to Facebook ads library and search up shirts. And then this way I get to see all of the shirts that are out there. If there are other higher performing shirts ads, then I get some more ideas on this as well. Now, I want to also talk about this as well. They really want to see your angles in your research, not just the copy. The copy is like a side skill that's like, you're supposed to already have the copy. The copy is already like, you're already supposed to have that down, easy, down pat. So I would come here as well and look at some of these other shirt ads and see if there's any ones that really are outliers. Now, because I'm looking at a bunch of ads for shirts, dude, my Instagram is gonna get blown up with ads for shirts. So I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna watch them all. Okay, so here's a bunch. So I might take ones that I genuinely feel are good. Then I might go out and do some more research and come back and do these. Then I would actually write out some of these ads. So I would take one of the ads And I will go back over the portfolio where it goes over some more angles. So here's the next thing. What this tells me about this ad account. You can't just look at ads isolated. You have to look at them in context. And in context means through the whole ad account. So what are the core angles? If we were talking about the Fabletics, the core angle would be like discount, 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 discount. This is luxury quality for discount pricing. That's what's like super works for them. Next would be like user generated content and also just static ads. Those just are killing it for them. All of those. Core formats, yeah, UGC or founder, static, testimonial, demonstration. Observations, what patterns do you see? What seems to be working? What audience are they targeting? And this is the big one, is missing opportunities, right? So what things do you think, what would you test next? You're not trying to really show them how you write. You're really trying to show them how you think. New concepts I test. So these are just the angles you'd fill out, and these are just the concepts that you'd fill out. Then you make a quick mock-up. Mock-up is very simple. I'm going to go back here, before and after self angle. I'm just going to use this, copy, make an AI image mock-up of this one for true classic tees. So now it will generate one for us. Ideally, we want to be more specific than this, but we only got a couple minutes left, so I want to do this quickly so that I can actually show you what it would look like. And then this way, they say, okay, he's actually thinking in like photos, he's thinking in static images, like he kind of gets it a little bit more. Please send us the docs with the portfolio templates. Oh, you already know. Imagine if I didn't, plus the job boards. Imagine if I just did it, if I just left. No recording either. Oh man. Is it legit to reach out to brands that never sell or marketing their product through meta ads, but only through their website by offering themselves as a creative strategist? Heck no. Oh, this is sick. Dude, this literally looks like an app. Bro, this is so fire. What the heck? My wife threw out all my old shirts after she found this shirt. Perfect fit, incredible comfort, built to last. I mean, yeah, dude, I didn't even think that chat was that good. So all I did was go to Facebook Ads Library, and I looked at that, I searched them out. I don't know. Yeah, you guys get it. So here they have different types of ads, okay? So I guess we're gonna go through some lingo as well, because this is very important to know. These are called UGC.
For the girlies in my DMs who need to poop.
What? No, okay, sorry. These are called UGC ads. These are user-generated content. So what they do is they pay people who are like content creators or influencers or whatever to like review their product or make it into an ad. Thus, why you see these people doing these things. This isn't like the business owner. This isn't anybody on their team. They paid these people to make these ads for them. And you go through and look at why they said what they said. So this girl said something like, "This is from my girlies who can't defecate properly." Okay, so what's the angle? The angle is that they are targeting people who have bowel movement issues, and she's talking very like Gen Z, very girly girl, Gen Z TikTok type of communication. So that is for a very specific segment of people. So that's the ad broken down. Now I'll give you guys an example as well. Brand runs. Also, you see this right down here? Made that. Obviously, I'm not a graphic designer. Let me zoom in here. But I made this in like 2 seconds with ChatGPT. Again, this is going to put you above and beyond other people who are just sending their ideas, just sending their writings, because you're able to give mock-ups, and this helps them really see that you are willing to go above and beyond. You want to make the static ads. You just want to be actually involved. Okay, yeah, so ads breakdown. So I found an ad that they had. I screenshotted it. I put it in here. So this is the primary angle. Also, I use ChatGPT to help me with like all of this, especially the stuff that's very repetitive. So this is the creative type. So this is a static offer ad. The ones where so another piece of, I guess, lingo, when it's just a picture, it's called a static offer, right? A static ad. Hook, core messaging, what's the offer, what's the awareness level? So problem aware / solution aware, why it works, my notes, however it relies heavily on, and then I go to the next one. This is a UGC ad, UGC couple testimonial. So it's a guy and a girl actually talking, right? That's an interesting angle, more of a breakdown. I mean, I won't go through everything because it gets kind of repetitive. My portfolio is just 2 different variations, like 2 different brands with this, and that's it. And I already got calls, and it took me not very long. So you guys can do the exact same, and by tomorrow you could have applied to 10 different creative strategy roles. By the next day, you could be doing a creative strategy test project. By the next day, you could be an actual creative strategist. And then you can start applying to the gigs that are like, they want you to actually have experience. Yo, what's up, Ricardo? Tyson, would you say a person who knows his way around meta ads will have an advantage here as a creative strategist? I would say yes, but not as much as you'd think. So it depends on what you say, who knows his way around meta ads, and I'll explain why. If you're a media buyer, meaning you're looking at the numbers, you're looking at the cost per acquisition, the cost per click, you're doing all the numbers fundamentals, you get to know what's working better and what's working not as well, but you don't really play with or make the creatives themselves, right? So Jasper, for example, is a great creative strategist. He works for agency engineer. However, like he's not gonna go into a business and click at ad targeting and things like that. So yeah, it will probably give you an advantage, but I wouldn't say that it's gonna be something big, right? It's gonna be like, here's a great example. If you are somebody who gets hired for UGC, so let me show you an example. This girl is doing ads and recording the ads for the company. If you've done that before, right, been like the actor in these ads, you'll probably have a pretty decent eye because you've done all of these before. So that will give you an advantage. It's not a direct advantage, but it's a close advantage. So I was creating the ads myself. Oh, sweet. Taking down what's not working and doubling down on what worked. Yeah, that's basically creative strategy right there. That's it. Creative strategy, some people use it in different ways. It's a little bit of an interchangeable title, but at the end of the day, most people who say creative strategy, they mean they want somebody to come on and test a ton of ads. One of the applications I was looking at said that they wanted people to create 50 ads per month for them. That's like almost 2 per day. So you're able to test all of those, see which ones are working, see which ones aren't working so well. Now, at the beginning of my template, actually, yeah. So that's what you do. So I'm gonna walk you through the step-by-step of what I did. Beginning of my template, or my beginning of my portfolio, I created a video. The video is very simple. I went and took a screenshot of the play, of the thumbnail, and then I linked it in here, right here. So in that way, when people click on it, they can go watch the video. All I say is, hey, what's up? My name is Tyson. I have this much experience. These are some of my results before the past. Here's why I would be a good fit and why I'm looking to get into creative strategy. Talk to you later. That's basically it. That's all they need. That's all they care about. A little bit about your background. Also, side note, this is not going to be the best portfolio in the world, right? But done is way better than perfect, especially when you're looking for your first gig. New concepts I test, breakdowns. That's it. So now you have put your portfolio down. Your resume / CV. Most of them are going to ask you for your resume / CV. They say CV, what they mean is a resume. Now, if your resume is basically blank, then don't even worry about this. Just don't even send it in or send in like a cover letter. Now I have 2 cover letter examples right here. They're old ones, so don't judge the guys because they're ex-40CI students or 40CI students in general. So we got Maxud and then we have Andre. Right? These are their, I guess, old cover letters. So pretty straightforward. This is in Canva, right? So you don't have to be a graphic designer. The idea of a cover letter is this. In one page, you show them your top sales, right? Your top pieces of you selling yourself. So some of the clients he's worked with, some about him, portfolio link, social links, top skills. Yeah, you get the point. And Maxud basically did something similar. You can go on Canva and find a template for this sort of thing. Just the layout. That's what it is. The layout. So his kind of looks like this, has some color in it. His more like black and white, more professional looking, but still they both work. Wait, why does he have multiple pages here? It's supposed to be one thing. Anyways, I would make it just one page. Yeah, you guys get the point. So that's it. You have your portfolio. You have your resume. If you don't have a resume, then don't put your resume. And then you have your cover letter. That's it. That's all I had. That is all I had. Now, as a side note, actually, some of the applications are going to be kind of like test project-y, if that makes sense. Some of the applications in the application process will ask you, if you were in this exact situation, what would you do? I'd love to actually bring one up. I have an example. Oh, man. I have these test projects anyways that will kind of talk about the idea. David, I'm curious, what's the rate of test projects to closes? So for example, I usually have to do like 10 test projects before I actually close versus, I usually only have to do like 2 test projects and then one of those actually closes. And the reason why I ask him that is because David's told me before, some of the test projects and the interview processes get sweaty, right? And what I mean by sweaty is like there's like 4 other people or 5 other people who are all like going hard. They're all showing that they're hungry and doing the most and doing extra on the test projects. So you want to keep that in mind. Keep that in mind while you're going, that you're actually in a competition. But competition is amazing. That's why we're here. Helps us get better.
Yeah. For an exact number, I wouldn't I don't know 100%, but let's say you book 10, like if you could get 10 interviews, you're guaranteed to close at least one of them if you're competent on the actual interview and then on the actual test project, because like the interviews where they do majority of the filtering, they'll ask you like how you use AI, how you like come up with personas, how you look at the ad account, how you look at like the structure of the ad account, what metrics you look at. So like they do a lot of the filtering in the actual interview. So if you get a test project and you do good on that test project, then they'll more than likely onboard you.
Fire. Yeah, I like it. Bro basically said 100%. So the reason why, yeah, this is fire because compare this to outreach, dude. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I've outreached before, especially when I was first starting out for like weeks and months and not even to get a nice reply. I got replies, but they weren't so nice. Versus, right, you're going to be getting test projects probably every day, every couple days, interviews, like maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks or so. And you're just going to be getting a lot more looks at least. And now, kind of like David was saying, now that you understand and you really know their hiring process better, you know what they're looking for better, every interview you get better. You get more hireable. You get more desirable. People look at you more often. So it's really good. I hate outreach. Yeah, that makes all of us. What is this? Yes, okay. Let's go through some of these test projects. So here's a test project. Now, the reason why I show this specifically and want to go deeper in this is because this is what they're looking for, right? They're not looking necessarily at your writing. Writing is a part of it, but they want to know your ideas and how you think. Because coming up with a really, really great angle for, like David was saying, like a new persona or something, and being able to really lock that in, that is hyper, hyper valuable to them. That unlocks like a whole new portion of the market, a whole new segment for them that they can market to and get money from. So the situation. You're in charge of creatives for a new lymphatic drainage drops offer. The two dominant competitors in this space are Lymphoria and Sculptique. Both are doing millions per month, primarily through Meta. Below are the supplement facts for the product. This is it. Oh, deliverables. Oh, what the heck's going on? All right. Readjusting. All right. This is messing up. Let's go like that. Deliverables. One is competitive analysis. Go through Lymphoria and Sculptique's meta ad libraries. Break down what's working, the ad formats, the angles, and the audiences. 2 is the creative launch plan. Build a creative launch plan for the first few months. With creatives, what creatives are we launching? What are your assumptions and what are we looking to learn? And what's the customer demo we're targeting with each main test? The customer demographic, like it. And finally, there's just 2 ad scripts. With write 2 production ready scripts targeting different audiences using different creative structures. Include 3 hook options for each. Be straightforward. Loom walking through all of it, explain your thinking, insights you gathered, and your thought process behind it all. Submit everything here. This is like the equivalent of one free value project. It's like you're outreaching like crazy. Someone's like, yeah, sure, I'll look at your free value. You do all this, and then they're like, nah. Anyways, when it comes to outreach. So honestly, yeah, there's a test project. So this is a phase 2 email I got saying, yeah, let's do another phase. Let's do a test project. Please make a copy so you can edit your own file. We want you to analyze a motion report, identify insights, and suggest new creative ideas based on the insights. The new creative ideas can be a mix of iterations and new ideas, but based on the data/insights. We want you to look at the data, the visuals, the messaging, etc., and be numbers focused. So this one is a more numbers focused one. Interesting. Fire. What did it say? This gamer press by Jay explains ecom terminology and other cool things. That's pretty sick. Yeah. If you guys haven't seen like pretty much all of That ain't Jay. That looks like prehistoric Jay. I don't know why he looks like a caveman there. AI went crazy. Jay's lives that he does in the boot camp, crazy value for anybody who is looking into any creative strategy stuff. Must watcher. Review. Why is the chat going crazy? Metrics and sheet. Yeah, with a Claude skill included. Yeah, I think his Claude skill was for research, right? I don't know which other Claude skills he did, but all right, please make a copy so you can edit your own file. Right. Review a video edit and provide specific feedback to make it better. Create one storyboard for a new video ad. Interesting. One storyboard for a new video ad you'd make for the brand based on the above. Ad account analysis, insights. Okay, so basically just fill this out. Then video feedback, video storyboard. Okay, this is what he needs. So video storyboard, pretty self-explanatory. I'll do these and then actually show you guys this as well. And I'm actually going to send it to you. I'm going to send it to you guys because what this can do as well, this can be easily used in your portfolio. So if you're wondering where to start, bro, you already have your start. Fill out these and the portfolio that I sent you and that template, bro. You're golden. You're golden. This is a must do. Here's my challenge to you guys. Today is June 3rd, Wednesday, June 3rd. Thursday, Friday. By Friday, you should be applying. You should be up and running. No excuse. Friday is so generous. You could literally goon for the rest of today, goon for half of tomorrow, and you could still be done by Friday. So by Friday, you're applying to creative strategy positions. All you need to do. I'm not even going to do a tutorial for it. Go on LinkedIn, search up creative strategy or creative strategist. You'll find a ton. Go do that. And by early July, I'd be genuinely surprised if you didn't have something already. Whether that be like at least some test projects and at most some actual deals. Now, for the people who don't have any experience, right, a little word of advice. Or you have very little experience and you think that experience is just going to be something that holds you back a little bit. Very, very easy thing you can do, especially if you're starting from scratch, where you don't want to say like, yeah, I've worked with nobody. I've done nothing at all. What you can do is find somebody else, right? There's lots of guys inside of 40CI who have already written copy for certain people, right? So if they already have clients, they're already working with a 7-figure e-com business, or they're already working with a 7-figure agency owner or whatever it is. Go to them and just ask them, hey man, can I do like 1 week's worth of projects for you? You don't even have to pay me, or maybe we'll do like a $300 deal, something simple, really small. And then you could just add that experience to your portfolio. You've worked with said brand. You have created ad creatives. You've made ad creatives for XYZ brand. You've actually performed before. That way, at least you can get something, right? At the beginning, it always feels like, oh man, everybody else has all this experience. Everybody has all this, whatever. Everybody's doing the same thing, right? Which is figuring out what is the best way to showcase the probably small amount of social proof that they do have. So everybody has an ability to get something under the belt. There's even a lot of guys, straight up, like I was showing you guys one of them, who they are literally looking for a beginner creative strategist. Where is this? Clients spend over $1 million a month testing direct response ads. We're looking for someone obsessed with understanding why ads work. And the pay is $3,000 to $4,000 per month. I wanted to open up the application, but you guys should go apply to that one as well. But yeah, that's what I would do. That's all I need to do. I think you guys have it. Is there any questions before I let you guys absolutely tear that apart?
I would have one situation-specific question, because I have the small problem when it comes to the platform to apply on, that I've been doing Upwork for I think about a month now, and I've also gotten on some interviews. But now the problem is that I've realized, because nobody told me that, so somehow Luca knew that, but Amash at least hasn't told me, that you can't get paid without verifying your identity. And obviously that's a bit bad on Upwork because of my age. So Amash said I could maybe do an account in the name of my parents, but I don't see the point of looking like my mom and then coming on a call. I think it will just be awkward and not really work. So I just wanted to know, if I should somehow restructure Upwork or if I should switch for applications to LinkedIn, and then also some advice on how to set that up, because I know how to do applications. I've also written a couple of applications for creative strategy, created ads. I've gone through the masterclasses from Luca on media buying, for example, and stuff. So I'm ready to do that. I'm just not knowing what to focus on now and what to actually do.
Yeah, there's a couple ways that we can go. So, how would I want to do this? Well, I'm pretty sure when Armash says use your parents' identity, what you can do, and don't quote me on this because I'm not 100% sure, but there is a workaround where you can just use their name in the back end, meaning when you sign in your account, you can privately put your name as Sasha Docs or whatever your mom's name is. And you just do it that way, but you can still use your own photo, your own picture, your own ID. Do you turn 18 like anytime soon? And it's 18 is the age, right?
Yeah, so I've researched a bit with ChatGPT, and I think they are at least that's what the official site says. I'm not sure how serious they are about it, but that they are at least comparing the date of birth.
Mm.
So I would have to write with the support to change my date of birth to like a 50-year-old or something, which is like the age of my mom.
Yeah.
And then they are also scanning the profile picture with the picture on your idea.
Oh, yeah. Well, then in that case, it might be best to, you can try to keep going, right? And find somebody who wants to hire you through Upwork. And then if you hit that barrier, kind of go through there. So you might get paid off of Upwork. I know that's kind of a no-no, but that's kind of like a piece of an option. But you can also just go hard on LinkedIn like we were talking about as well. That way you don't even have to worry about any of those things. And Upwork is good, especially good to start, but it has its issues like that. It has its issues like somebody can give you a bad review because they were like a nightmare client, and now it's like, you know, you're back at square one. There's so many different examples. So yeah, you don't need it. I would say the next thing that you could do is just do the whole creative strategy thing, and all the stuff you've done on Upwork is actually going to really help you there. You can even create a LinkedIn profile. I would probably recommend that for you as well. Put some of the things you've already written about on there, some of the things that are on your Upwork, just migrate them over to LinkedIn and just go that way.
Okay, so you would just say that I should talk with Amash and essentially switch my account from Upwork to LinkedIn and then just go all in on LinkedIn.
Yeah, exactly. And consult with Armash, because I don't know of many people who ran into the whole age barrier thing and then found a way around it. Like, obviously, you can bamboozle it in order to, you know, make your parent. But at that point, you're literally just going against the terms of service, and it might not be the juice there might not be worth the squeeze, right? Where it comes to LinkedIn applications, also not even just LinkedIn. There's also other job boards and things that you can go on. But yeah, I'd say probably just make the switch would be the best thing to do, especially like shortly, right? So if you can't figure it out today on Upwork, for example, I just head over to LinkedIn and just go there.
Okay, so then I will probably try to get on call with Amash and then try it and then do the creative strategy thing there.
Yeah, exactly. Even if you just want to send him a message, he'll probably be around. I found an ad account that I really liked. I watched an ad from them that was really fire. And so I wanted to break down some of their ads right here. And I wanted to break it down in a way where I'm kind of showing you what it would look like if I was going to put this into my portfolio. Because a lot of people are actually getting stuck on this step. Not only are they getting stuck on this step, but they're kind of doing this step, I'd say wrong, or just not in the best way, right? So I think going through this real quick, and kind of showing you guys how I would go about it would be very powerful and good. Carpe is so good. Literally, generally some of the most creative angles and formats ever. Yeah, really though, especially format-wise. Like format-wise is pretty nasty. What's up, Mr. Mara M? It's Mark, right? Yeah, I think so. Or Merrick. I don't know what you like to go by, my friend. Yeah, we're going to keep talking. So brand name insights. Okay, so you guys get the point. I'm gonna go like this, and I'm gonna split them. I think would be a great exercise, if you guys want some homework, is go to the portfolio example that I gave you guys, and just go through all of those brands and watch all of their ads. It seems like, oh my gosh, that's a lot, but literally like going to every single one of these, it's over here, going to every single one of these and watching like maybe 5 of each of their ads, or obviously you want to break it up. Otherwise you'd be doing this for like 48 hours straight. Break it up, do like one from each category maybe, or one from a couple categories per day, whatever you want to do, right? Switch it up a little bit, analyze all of these, and you're gonna get a really good, at least a really good baseline. All right, here we go. Or I watched one ad where I was like, okay, these guys are fire. I need to look this up. And my man Ethan can corroborate with me that these are fire. What was the one that I watched earlier. I think it was this one.
Every time I've worn sandalwood.
Yeah. This one has to be a mandatory watch. And also, if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, or anything to add in the chat, please feel free. Also, if you guys have anything to review as well, feel free to drop that in there. If not, though, I did want to at least go over some of these. So let's go through them. I wish there was like a medium size format. Like I can either do like small as heck or, okay, let's do this. Okay, this is exactly what I wanted pretty much. And then honestly, we'll go like this.
Every time I've worn sandalwood, a girl says, "Holy, you smell really good."
So honestly, format being street interviews, so fire. I've never seen it before, but if you really think about it, over the last year, what is one of the most common and crazy looking formats that we've seen? What about the Hawk Tua girl? You guys remember that? That is one example of just us seeing something that is, it kind of hops off the trend. It hops on the trend. The trend is utilized here. So the format street interview, so it's great format that's already proven viral and funny. I've seen in applications as well, as a side note, I've seen in applications, they sometimes say things as open-ended as share with us one of your favorite ads and break it down for us. Will this call go into Creative Strategy Launchpad to rewatch it? It will be recorded and it will probably end up in Launchpad, probably this part, because people are asking for an example of the whole breakdown thing. So that's what I'm doing here. So the step number one, I guess you could call it, is I'm just gathering up the insights. These are all the things that I see, that I notice, not really in any order. The reason why I like to put like a brain dump thought first is because that's just the best way, in my opinion. Best way, and then you can kind of clean it up later. So let's continue. Hook is also pretty fire. Hook is very common as well. Every time I get smelled wearing sandalwood, the ladies go crazy, pretty much. That's pretty much the Snagglewood, sandalwood.
You wear carpet? Can I smell?
Yeah, get a little smell.
I smells powder.
Been wearing it since the morning. There's nothing.
Yeah, look at that.
Dries.
No sweat.
Any other deodorant out there literally sucks. Carpe for the win.
If you want to be fresh, clean all night, Carpe is the way to go. On Amazon right now.
Or click the link below to get it for 56% off on our website.
56?
Carpe is a quick drying lotion that stops odor and sweat. And unlike some deodorants that smell cheap, Carpe uses premium fragrances.
Are you the Carpe guy? Yes.
Holy I'm not wearing it.
No.
I don't wear it, but I need to wear it.
Wait, you wear...
Are you the Carpe guy? Now, the reason why that's significant is because founder, right? This guy's like 100% going off of like the founder fame, where it's like, oh my gosh, are you the Carpe guy? It's like Russell Brunson and ClickFunnels. It's like, oh my gosh, are you Russell Brunson from funnel hacking? Having that little like celebrity factor in there, really, Thomas, a genuine menace. Really fire. Luca's idea, my G. Yeah. Honestly, freaking Thomas is the most like civilized citizen of all 40s. Yeah, I don't know how he's the number one degenerate. Maybe there's something that went on behind the scenes.
Carpe? Yes! No way. Can I smell? That's clean sport. That smells amazing.
It makes me feel amazing because I can wear light colored shirts without sweating through.
Bro, that's actually crazy. Light colored shirts without smelling through. That right there, I'm not even joking. So that did a couple things. One, I was like, wow, I kind of broke my brain. She said, I could wear light colored shirts without sweating through. I literally have had this problem for my whole entire life. And you know what? I'm actually going to probably expose myself big time here. Yeah, it's already starting. I've had this shirt on for like a good 15 minutes, but I can't wear any light colored shirts. Cannot wear any light colored shirts. Have you ever noticed? Sometimes I'll wear like light colored shirts here on camera and stuff because nobody really sees. But out, like I never wear anything unless it's a black shirt every single time for this specific reason all the time. So the fact that I've never heard anybody else ever in my own life ever express this same problem. So now right there, as soon as I saw this actual one ad, I was like, you know what, man? I might have to get me some Carpe. You know the ads you're looking at are crazy when you literally are just like breaking down their ads and you're like, okay, I actually have to buy it. So what would we call this? We would call this very hyper relatable and hyper specific problem. Call out and solution.
Can we take selfies? Carpe, man.
I've spent $80 on Carpe.
Not can we take a selfie? Oh, that's insane. bro's a armpit celebrity. Let's go.
Hey, what's that?
Wait. Mountain Breeze. I got it right?
I spent $80 on Carpe too.
Let's go.
People think that I'm wearing cologne. They're always like, oh, what do you wear? What do you wear? And I'm like, I wear Carpe.
Thank you for running up to me. You have a great night.
Every time I've worn sandalwood, a girl says, holy you smell really good.
You wear Carpe? Can I smell?
Yeah, get a little smell.
I smell powder.
Been wearing it since the morning. There's nothing.
Yeah, look.
Okay, so now my next move for what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to describe what I just seen into chat. I'm going to describe what I just seen into chat and format it how I want. So we're going to go over here and I'm going to say it. So I just watched this one ad from a deodorant brand called Carpe, and I want you to help me create a structured breakdown of it. I'm going to give you some notes and things about the actual ad itself. But essentially what the ad was a nighttime street interview style where the founder is going up to other people and talking to them in the mic. They are greeting him as if he were a celebrity and everybody knows him. He's getting people's testimonials. Everyone's saying how great Carpe is. It feels very natural, and it does a really great job at disguising itself as content instead of an ad. Here are some more notes, and here's the format in which I want you to break down this ad with me. So a couple of things here, right? We're not using AI to just think for us. We're only using it really to kind of, what's the word? To format. Yeah, to format. And then also we're going to make it not sound like AI. Bam. Okay, so here's what I would make. This is why it took me a weekend to get to get some interviews already booked. W glaze angle for this ad. Literally, isn't it insane? This little blonde chick, I think she was blonde. I don't really remember. Okay, you know, she's completely not blonde at all. But she's acting blonde. Just kidding. I didn't mean to say that out loud. But get the point, right? This young lady is like, oh my gosh, you're a celebrity. Can I take a, she's basically doing tricks on it. It's insane. Primary angle, social proof through cultural relevance. Okay, I mess with it. So I'm basically just gonna take all this and copy it and then kind of play with it afterwards. My notes, smart psychological triggers. No. This is too much fluff. Only use the format that I gave you. Don't add any extra stuff. Come on, chat. You're making it fluffy. All right, let's find our next victim of an ad. But that one was pretty good, right? Honestly, if I were to personally rate that ad out of 10, I would definitely give it like an 8 or a 9. I would put that line about being able to wear light clothes like and some of the hyper specific stuff like earlier, but still. That's just me though. Let's do, this is like a UGC looking one. Let's do this one.
I keep saying this.
Whoa. Okay. Let's see what that does. Ad breakdown, current ad. Okay, perfect. Now it actually did it right. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to put it over to my insights here. Right? Yeah. So current ad analysis. So I'm going to replace my insights and replace the current ad analysis, all that stuff. And I'm just going to go like that. Yeah. I don't know why it's all bold, but fix that real quick. All right, that's number 1. You do that with basically 8 more ads, the thing that just took us like 10 minutes, and bam, you got yourself an awesome portfolio. So let's keep going.
I keep saying this. Do not buy Carpe on Amazon. Do not buy Carpe on, yeah. Carpe is one of the top selling deodorants on Amazon. It comes in.
Okay, so that's interesting. Anybody know what kind of hook what kind of hook would we classify that as? Insight hook. Do not buy Carpe on Amazon as he's smashing a TV with a bat. Dang, this one had some production costs here. It's like $100 TV. Ethan taught me what mogging was. That's crazy. Yeah, Ethan's been mocking for sure. He's literally mewing right now. He thinks we don't know. Bro's bone smashing.
all of these premium fragrances. It's got thousands of 5-star reviews because it's the
Bro, that bat has nails in it.
first thing to work for so many people. Carpe is a quick drying lotion that stops odor and sweat. It has ingredients that stop sweat, prevent
I'm not gonna lie, those lotion deodorants are the worst for keeping you dry. The ones that go on super wet, they do not keep you dry, in my opinion.
Carpe is a quick drying lotion that stops
So what was the transition here? I'm so confused.
on Amazon. It comes in all of these premium fragrances. It's got thousands of 5-star
And then he just transitions to the good. Okay. That's one way to do it, I guess. Bro's like, don't buy Carpe. It's got thousands of 5-star reviews. It's a quick drying, fast drying lotion. Like, dang, bro, okay.
reviews because it's the first thing to work for so many people. Carpe is a quick drying lotion that stops odor and sweat. It has ingredients that stop sweat, prevent body odor, and actually help reduce bacteria growth. But do not buy Carpe on Amazon when you can get it on our website for up to 56% off with.
Okay. Do not buy it on Amazon when you can get it for 56% off from our website. Interesting. I mean, yeah, right? I guess it kind of works. Then you transition to the side points. Reviews, quick drying lotion, prevents sweat, and BO. Okay, I'm down with that. I mean, that's one way to do it, right?
4 free gifts, including free shipping. Do not buy Carpe on Amazon. I keep saying this, and if you haven't tried Carpe yet, I don't know why not. Now's the perfect time. Click that link below and stay.
This guy looks like Jasper if Jasper wasn't looks maxing. That's basically what I would say. That's my review. Let's keep going. Did they do this?
I literally have Carpe.
They did this angle again. Honestly, they've been milking this angle. What that tells me right there, some other insights on the whole thing. Let me go, where would I put this? Core angles. So insights on whole ad account. Any idea why he's smashing the TV? Is it like a visual hook? Yeah, it's like a visual hook. It's also a rehook. It also makes people think that it's kind of funny, which it is kind of funny, right? He's just smashing a TV over and over again. You have to go, like, kind of think of it like this. Most people are absolutely brain fried, cooked beyond recognition, right? So you're never going to be able to come on an ad and just kind of make it normal. And there's a reason why these ads from Carpe are absolutely insane as far as profit, as far as how they're performing. They have some of the best performing ads out there. So they definitely know what they're doing. You're watching a master at work in every single time. So the reason why he's smashing the TV and then saying a sentence and then smashing the TV and then saying the sentence, it's a big disrupt, right? So you usually don't see people just randomly vandalize things, especially founders of a business. It also seems very weird and not really connected to what he's saying, which is why it's actually so interesting and why it actually keeps people watching. So yeah, that's kind of why. It seems like why the heck would he even do that? It kind of seems like a waste, kind of seems dumb, kind of seems not tied to what he's actually saying. But it's just a test, right? And as you can see, let's read some of the dates on these ads here, because they're all very new, or at least a lot of them are. May 23rd, April 9th, May 3rd, March 3rd, April 9th, March 3rd, April 10th, April 7th, March 3rd. So they've tested a ton around this March and April area. It seems like they could have tested tens, if not, or I guess dozens, if not even more. Tons of dozens. So takeaway there is that, yeah, he's using it as like a rehook. Let's see this one. See ad details.
Do you wear it?
I do.
Really?
I do.
That's rose water. Oh my gosh, you weren't lying.
You know what else I've seen? Okay, let's go ad number 3. They do this a lot. Insights. Well, first of all, insights on the whole ad account. It's the Carpe guy. Fame founder angle. It's kind of like, I mentioned the Russell Brunson before. I made a an analogy to him, but it's also analogous to like Alex Ramosi almost. It's like if you're walking down the street and you see like Alex Ramosi just hanging out in his jean shorts and sandals and flannel shirt, and you're like, what the heck? You're Alex Ramosi, right? One or even seeing somebody else be starstruck of him, you all automatically think, oh, this guy's a celebrity, right? Imagine if you're walking through the mall and you have no idea who some guy is, but everyone's going up to him asking him, yo, can I take a picture? Yo, can I take a picture? If he sells something, he already has instant authority because other people think he's famous. So the fame kind of like rubs off almost. The other thing is like super, what's the word? Super in the moment and natural feeling. Does lots of street interviews and walking around with a camera and mic. This is basically exclusively founder ads, which is pretty insane. This founder must be going like full time on just making ads. And he also, you know what else is funny? He guesses the exact scent. I don't know why that works. Why do you guys think that would work? He's like, oh, that's cherry blossom. It's like, how does that make people buy more? Maybe it's because people think like, not only do you smell good, but you really smell like something. Or there's different flavors, so I guess not flavors, there's different scents that you'd want to try. I could see that. I could see that. Whoever invested in that TV is mad. I don't care what anyone says. Yeah. Imagine actually getting a TV and a bat and setting up this whole thing. You basically spent a couple $100s on this ad. So, and bro definitely made like hundreds of thousands of dollars off that ad anyways. So, all right, let's continue.
How long you been wearing it?
For a month now. I love it. Shoot, no sweat. I'm fresh all day.
What were you wearing before? What was the problem?
I didn't like it. It didn't last all day. When I was
Throwing stones at competition. Okay. Why she didn't like it. Good.
at work in the middle of the day, yeah, I didn't like that smell on me.
Anybody I find wearing carpe gets
at work in the middle of the day, and then anyone I come across wearing carpe, is that a selling point, guys? Wins $100. That's kind of crazy.
It's $100, so you get $100.
Thank you. Get carpe because you won't sweat, you won't smell. Shoot, you smell fresh all day.
She knows it right. Thanks for saying hello.
Dang, it's a nice little ad. Pretty natural way to include a testimonial, UGC angle as well. Yeah, it's pretty insane. Like he does that a lot. Let me go to one of their actual UGC ones. I'm interested in this one. It's been running since March 31st, so that's a while. Okay. Yeah, that's actually a sick hook. That's like a UGC hook. Let's do it like, okay, add number 4. Let's go like that. Add number 4. UGC hook of her, and caption says, anytime I wear Skims and her arms are wet. Do you guys want to see if this actually works? Because here's something else crazy. All right, I'm going to expose myself again. Remember when I showed you like 5 seconds ago how my pits were just like one drop? Now they're like definitely coming through. I'm going to get some carpe and I'm going to actually review it because I'm curious. It's got me. Curiosity got me. If I'm able to just not be sweaty all day, I'd be like, I'd be willing to invest in the company at that point. Let's check this one. See summary details. Whoa, why is there something?
She has carpe.
See details.
She has carpe with her.
I stole hers and then I immediately bought like the bundle. I told her.
Yeah, so here's another I guess principle. Add 5 is walking people through the buyer's journey, right? Imagine this girl said, yeah, I was literally on Facebook one day and then I saw this ad for carpe and I clicked on it and I checked it out. And then I kept seeing it pop up everywhere. People that I know were wearing it. And so I decided to finally try it. And I did, and I saw that they're having a sale, so I just went ahead and got the bundle, right? She's literally walking you through the exact steps that you would have to take in order to buy it. And that is, I guess you could call it like, I'm coming up with a new word for it, buyer validation. Yeah, buyer validation, where it's like, okay, this is exactly how I'm feeling. I wonder if other people feel like this. She's like validating your feelings because this is already something that she's going and doing right now. Pretty natural. Yeah, pretty natural for sure.
After one day of practice, we played beach volleyball at ASU. I didn't sweat and I don't smell. She was like, no way, let me smell. And then I let her smell. She was like, I'm buying it right now. I bought it immediately.
Can I smell your armpits?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. That's bergamot and nude. That is super fresh. Can I smell yours?
I applied early this morning.
It lasts 100 hours. That's clean sport. Smell her armpit. She smells super fresh. I'm not making this up.
Yeah, dude, I can't smell it.
You smell.
I probably saw like 10 of your ads on TikTok and I was like, there's no way. And then I was like,
How did I literally already call this out? Yeah. I saw like 10 of your ads. It's all very basic copywriting principles, but honestly, I think the thing that sets Carpe apart, first of all, is that these UGC actors are so good. I've seen ads of UGC actors. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I was like, why is this dorky looking dude over here smelling these girls' armpits, and then got these girls smelling their own armpits? It just feels feel weird to other people. I'm doing this in public too, but the UGC actors are literally top notch. I see some UGC actors that are so cardboard, and you can tell they've never used this product before in their life. Like, it's just so bad. Whereas these people, this feels like so natural and genuine, even though I know that it's scripted, because their scripts are so on point. There is literally 0% chance that they could ever just come up with the perfect marketing message to say like he is. She was like, oh, well, I'm not sure I want you to smell my armpits. I applied this morning. He was like, what? Don't be crazy. It lasts 100 hours.
let's see for myself. I bought it and now I live by it. We're in Arizona. It's February and it's still like 90 degrees.
That's a great angle. That's a great piece right there. We're in Arizona and it's still like 90 degrees. Americans, how hot is that? Do you have any Americans in here? I don't think. Danny, are you an American? Ethan is an American as well. Ethan, Danny, how hot is 90 degrees? Is that hot? I don't know. I don't use that system. I use the other one. Pretty hot. Okay, good. Actually, now I'm curious. 90 degrees to Celsius. $32? Yeah, okay, that's kind of hot. That's like kind of hot. Some people are saying, or complaining in Texas that it was like 100 and 110. How much is 100? Dang, 100's like 37, and 110 degrees is like 43. I mean, that's all right. That's pretty hot. I've seen hotter though. Nope, I'm from David's Lane, UK. Oh, Danny's from UK. Ethan's the only last true American. Dang, bro. Ethan, how does it feel to support Trump?
This is saving our lives right now. I was wearing and it would just leak on my clothes and it didn't work past like 2 hours. Now I'm living by this. I feel like I don't have to worry about like smelling bad or sweating. Never sweating, never smelling, not a worry.
Both of you are getting $100. Thank you both.
The same $100. $100 reward. And then also, what else? They say, we're so glad we don't have to worry about smelling bad or sweating. I think that's pretty fire. You know what? What would you call it? An angle that I just came up with is that, you know, that one sweaty person, or this person that's just like sweaty all the time, or the person that just like, you know, everyone's like, oh dang, look at that, how much that guy's sweating. Like he's just like just drenched in it. Yeah, you don't want to be that person. Let me find another one. What are some of your guys' favorite brands as well? Actually, maybe we might even do another one of these. All right, let's do this last one, and then we'll do one more ad account.
It's extremely painful. Every second it takes me to escape, you get up to 1% off.
That's pretty sick. You know what this actually reminds me of? You guys see that Mr. Beast video? Mr. Beast running with cash. Yeah, this. And Alex Hormozy did a version of this as well with his books. I think this would be sick for him to do with the with the, what are they called? The deodorant sticks. Yeah, I think this would be a really easy ad to do. And while he's doing this, he could just talk about what the ad is. Yeah, new angle. All right, that's my new angle. That's my new angle. And then he walks up and gives somebody $100. Anything but links. What is the links? Awareness level. Yeah. Okay, let's go back. So this hook is interesting. Although the beginning is really kind of lame. It doesn't say anything for the first little bit.
It's extremely painful. Every second it takes me to...
It's just kind of him messing around with the bag. So, ad number 6. Number 6. Hook could be quicker. I also wanted to talk about a trend that this actually reminded me of. You guys ever see that trend where it's like, I see it a lot because I've been looking at a lot of like biking things and biking stuff, like with motorcycles and dirt bikes. Sorry, I heard something weird out there. Motorcycles and dirt bikes. And what they'll do, if it's like a crash video, they'll show the crash first, like the moment of impact first, and then they'll show everything else. It's almost like a really tiny mini trailer to the reel that you're about to watch. You guys ever seen that? That's something I've been seeing very, very commonly and often. And I think a lot of his ads, or at least some of them, could benefit from that, especially this one, because it's almost like a Mr. Beast style. So, style founder ad where he says, every second I'm in the water with 100 pounds attached to my ankle, you get 1% off. I'm gonna think it's 56. Let's see if he can last 56. Action movie type of angle, literally.
To escape, you get up to 1% off.
Dang, who's that dude with the black Crocs? 40 sticks in the pool. Here's the one with the double second. Oh, okay, he's looking for the certain one. He has to find the key. $56. I thought it was 51. Dang. All right, he did it.
How long was that?
56 seconds.
So they're getting 56% off. You're gonna get to pick 4 premium fragrances, 3...
Okay, so that would be a pretty good retargeting ad, because there's little to no education in this ad. There's really not that little to no education. He kind of just goes right into it, and it's more content, more content than actual, more content than actual ad here. Motivation to learn how to swim. Yeah, maybe. All right, now where are our, let's see here. Should we compare them to the Dr. Squatches? No. Roan, Chubbies, Guns, just ingredients needed, Huel, Bloom, Hexclad. I like the Hexclad ones as well. Loom, the Farmer's Dog. Let's do Liquid Death. What is that? Whoop. Let's go Whoop. I know what Whoop is. I feel Whoop. I'm also a what are they called? I'm the ideal persona for Whoop, I feel. So let's look. So all I would do then is I would take all of my findings. I would take all of these. And yeah, and I'd take that. And I'd say, now make me another breakdown These are some more angles. Now, those last ones are very bare bones, right? So for every ad, I would actually just describe what's happening in the ads and some of the things that they talked about. Oh, yeah, I forgot to even paste it. I would describe some of the ads and what was talking about, what the format was, what I was watching, but I didn't do that for these ones. Now, I just did like 5 or 6 ads, but that's all you really need. Just literally write down all of your insights. Chat will kind of be your, what would you call it, your sidekick, and you could just go through and do multiple of these, right? If you don't have a portfolio, but also even if you do have a portfolio and you're just filling it out, yeah, really simple, easy to do. Okay, so this one is like all static ads. Oops. See ad details. Small habits create big change. Always on health insights. So it's kind of just like what it is. Yeah. Okay, let's watch an actual video. Let's watch one of these. See ad details.
Ready to make lasting progress? Whoop helps you improve your sleep, health, and fitness. See where Whoop can take you. Ready to make lasting
runners, lifters, ready to make lasting changes. See another one. So this one, as you can see, is just a lot less fun, but it's still very effective. And a lot of these, sometimes you're going to have brands like this, right? You're going to have brands like this that, oh man, we're not doing like crazy founder ads, but they're still super successful. Let's watch this one.
Apparently fitness tracker thongs exist, and I am skeptical about the whole thing. So naturally I ordered one, tested it out for a couple of days, and here is the rundown.
I mean, that's pretty fun. What are these? So past new concept that test. Let's do another one, not a new ad. What did she say? A what thong? Fitness tracker thong? Whoop. Fitness tracker thong. Honestly, W angle, because I would be like, what on earth is that? I'd have to watch.
Apparently fitness tracker thongs exist, and I am skeptical about the whole thing. So naturally I ordered one, tested it out for a couple of days, and here is the rundown. First things first, there are obviously fitness tracker rings, watches, chest straps, but a thong I have not seen. So obviously I was very curious about this whole thing. Now the thong itself is from Whoop, and the tracker is located right above your left butt cheek. Overall, I'm just curious as to how this will track my steps, heart rate, workouts, etc. I'm not too worried about the
Yo, chat, should I try this one? Chat, should I give it a try, chat?
Because I've actually used Whoop for like the last month and a half, and it has been my favorite fitness tracker, period. Now, the tracker itself is technically removable. It's placed onto the underwear by a Velcro strip, and because of that, I'll be so for real, I was worried if I were to go to the bathroom and pull down my pants, would the tracker fly off into the toilet? And no, it was very secure. I didn't have any issues with that. My next question was, how noticeable is this going to be in leggings, pants, dresses? Now, in leggings, you could see the outline of it, but it wasn't the end of the world. But in any other article of clothing, you couldn't see it at all. I also forgot I was wearing it most of the day. Also, yes, I did order 2 thongs because in no way was I going to be wearing the same thong that I worked out in all day. And because the tracker's removable, you can just pop it over into the new pair of undies. Now, in the morning during my workout, the tracker immediately detected that I went for a 3-mile run and did some weightlifting. It even gave me a full report of my workout after. I then had a birthday dinner, and then after that I was going straight to the airport. As I was in line for security, I remembered I was wearing it, so I ran to the bathroom to remove it because I didn't want to get patted down by TSA. And the next day wore it all day as I was traipsing through Chicago. Overall, huge fan. I love that it auto-detected my workouts. And because it is a Whoop strap, obviously you don't have to just wear it in your underwear. You can move it to your wrist, which is where I tend to wear it. And the amount of information it gives you about your body is literally so fast.
All right, that's kind of fire. I'm not even gonna lie. I just watched the ad and I'm like, all right, that's kind of fire. So you can take basically your Whoop or your Apple Watch thing, you can put it in your underwear and it could be on your hip all day. I thought this was gonna be about the wristband. So here's the thing, right? I think that she could have called out some better stuff as well. She could have called out some more hyper-specific stuff. I don't know if maybe that is something that they thought about but didn't do. But here's one thing, right? When I have it on my wrist, first of all, I like to wear my watch, right? And if I go somewhere, like I don't want to have to keep switching and changing and doing all that. It's just annoying to do. Next is if I had this dream, this idea that I was going to be able to have like a little, what are those called? Kind of like Jasper does. The treadmill under my desk. I've had it before. Treadmill under my desk, then I'm able to work and walk at the same time. So I can go up here with my mouse and the keyboard and tap away. The problem with that though is that my watch no longer detects my movement. If I'm doing like a the stair climber thing, right? Which I never do, by the way. I'm sorry, but that's like, if you're a grown man doing the stair climber, hey, bro, why are you trying to build your buns like that? So if I'm grabbing onto the handles, for example, and I'm walking, now my stuff doesn't actually track. If it was on my hip, some people like to wear them on their wrist, and that helps it work as well. But it just sent, it's like, yo, why aren't you standing? Or why aren't you working out? If it's on my wrist and I'm holding on to something, my arm isn't moving. So that means that I have to move. Inversely, you want to know, lastly, whenever I'm at the grocery store, this is a great spot to get steps at the grocery store. But they never count because I got my hands on the cart. So if my hands are on the cart, now I'm basically, all that walking is wasted. And it literally just does feel, if you've ever been to the gym without your watch before, it's like, this workout's a waste now. Obviously it's not, but that's how it feels. They could have went into all of those angles. Those are all new opportunities. And I'll leave you with this. It's actually so good to make content for brands of things that you actually use, because then you have like this very unique piece of specificity that nobody else is really going to have. So this ad was another W. There were some parts I think that could be better. The UGC creator, honestly, I found it really cringy. I don't know if you guys felt that as well. She was like doing really random things. But honestly, for an ad, it's not. I'm not the target audience. So it's probably good for them. It's probably good. Like, what the heck is this? Yeah, so good. Now, as for our okay, I'm gonna go to try this part. Honestly, when it comes to the missing opportunities and new concepts, I would test. And then this part, here's what I would do. If I was trying to do it very quickly, go over here. Now, fill this out, but make it concise. Because some of these ideas might not actually be very good. So we're gonna let it run. Target audience is Thomas and Co. Yeah, of course, Big T. I'm sure it'll look awesome on you. Matches your style. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I wish they made a version for boxers too, but dang. Hey, bro, if we gotta thong it, we gotta thong it. There's nothing. This is what we have to do. I don't make the rules. Hey. Embarrassing public sweat moments. Highly relatable situations. Yeah, like if you're on a date, that would be a really good one. A guy talking about, yeah, I was on a date this one time and my armpits were sweating through. And because that made me more nervous. And because I was nervous, they sweat even more. Or presentations. Oh my gosh, bro. Presentations are bad for that. Bad, bro. Light colored t-shirts. Yeah. Create emotional connection. Yeah, that'd be a fire angle. That's a fire angle to test. Before and after. Simple visual proof. Yeah. You know, that would be so good. I wore a leading brand on my right armpit and I wore a Carpe on my left armpit. Let's see how it holds up. Fire angle. Now, that's not what chat actually gave me, but chat gave me something that reminded me or made me think of a good angle. That's the perfect way to use it. Heat challenge. Show Carpe performing in extreme heat, workouts long days. Day in the life proof, document staying dry. I mean, those are the same, and I just said those. I didn't believe it either. Okay, those are okay, I guess. And then they write out the full new concepts. Yeah. I think this was a successful brand breakdown. This was fun. Betrayed Claude today. Yeah, I jumped the Claude ship today. The reason as to why, actually, I'll go over. The reason as to why I jumped the Claude ship for this one is because chat is good at formatting and breaking down a little bit more than I like Claude for. I would actually use chat for this one. If I was going to write out an actual ad, like take the concept or take the brief or take whatever, I might even just pop back over to Claude, but then I'm context switching and I'm taking all this stuff, like ChatGPT already has all the idea and all the brain, so I might just stay in chat for this one. So yeah, we jumped board on Claude for this specific one, but that's still how I use them. You use them in tandem, but at different times. Yeah, literally. All right, my guys, that's been it for today. We went over some ad stuff, and we also just went in and created our own small little portfolio. The reason as to why I think that this especially is super important is because not only will it help you build your portfolio, but even if you already have a portfolio, it will help you show brands how you're actually thinking and breaking them down and seeing how you would actually use AI to do it as well. And we also did, we just looked at ads. And honestly, if you are a copywriter or a creative strategy at all, you spending time looking at ads will never be will never hurt you. It will never be bad. It will always be something that you can use in the future. Because, dude, when you're finally working with a creative strategy brand and you have to build 1 or 2 or 3 ads every single day, imagine how easy it is to run out of ideas eventually. This is building up your inner idea bank, and it will always come in handy. So guys, that's it for today, and of course, I'll see you guys on the next one. Last time we went and looked at Loom ads, or not Loom, Carpe ads, and the ads were really good. But what was really crazy about it is that I was like, on the call, and I was like, yo guys, I got sweaty armpits, so I'm gonna get me some Carpe, and then we're gonna go in and see how the product actually does. Bro, it's $40 for a stick of deodorant if you want one. Now, here's what's really interesting. This is what's really gonna help you zoom out and look at the broader marketing scheme behind it, because this is where they win. They don't even really win. They obviously win on creative and things, but where they really win is how much the dang stuff cost and what their funnel actually looks like, because their funnel is quite interesting. Their funnel has a little bit of Temu element in there as well. Now, Temu always gets clowned on because it's Temu, right? It's like the crappiest stuff ever. It's like Alibaba or what's the other one? Or Wish.com, which is like very, very cheap Chinese crap. But they have revolutionized online e-commerce to a crazy level. And I see Carpe actually doing a lot of those as well. Understanding the whole funnel as how it works together is integral to understanding what you can get away with in the creative process as well. It's not just about the creative. So $40 for 1 stick. Now, that's insane. But if you subscribe, you can save up to 20%. And if you get like 8 sticks or whatever, then the sticks come down to like $15 or $20 each, but you have to buy a huge order value. So what does that really mean? Well, that means that essentially you're going to be getting a way higher order value. Was it still 56% off when you got it? Yeah, I believe so. And I think the wording is also different, because one of their ads I've seen, you get 56% off when you buy 4. So the packaging, the wording, it's all very intentional. They want to increase the average order value so much. This way they can spend so much more on ads profitably, right? So I want to show you guys here as well. So I literally went to go and buy it, but it didn't work. $13.97 each. Yeah, if you buy, a bunch. So let's go actually go through this ad one more time. I'm not going to go through their whole account again, just one.
Buy this on Amazon. Right now on Carpe's website, their 4-stick bundle is 56% off, ships free.
4-stick bundle. So 4-stick bundle, it says $14 each. 14 times 4 is like nearly what, $50, $60 for some deodorant? Like, dog, crazy. Let's keep going.
It comes with free gifts. These scents smell incredible. Don't just take it from me. Look what others think.
Every time I've worn sandalwood, a girl says, holy you smell really good.
Carpe has changed my life. I've never sweated less in my life.
He smells amazing. I love it. You guys created a great brand.
So if you're already on the fence, this is the moment to do it right instead of paying more later.
I went to go try to click on it, and basically, I can't click on it around this video for some reason. But anyways, what happened was it gave me a game on my screen. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever tried Temu, but Temu, how it works is you go there and it lets you spin a wheel, right? So it's like, do you want to spin this wheel? You spin the wheel, and on the wheel, it's like 5% off, 0% off, 20% off, 30% off. So you feel like you're playing a game, right? And it feels like a little Facebook game. Well, they're actually doing the exact same thing here in Carpe as well, with little games to win however much, like 20% off or whatever, which is really interesting to see that. So they've got this like locked in, like super, super locked in. Oh, I love this as well. 4th of July sale. Honestly amazing. Pretty much every business is going to do sales, and having a reason behind the sale really helps. Yeah, underarm antiperspirant, face primer, and feminine care deodorant, all $30, $30, and $80 respectively. Okay. Dermatologist, of course they have to have a picture of a doctor, although his side is cut off there. So I thought I'd bring that up because it was quite interesting as well. And I also have more. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen and yap at you guys for a second. Stop streaming. Yeah, there we go. Dopamine boosting. Yeah, literally, here's the thing, man, is that people are extremely addicted to casinos, obviously. Casinos have been literally one of the most, if not the most, profitable business like ever, right? Because people love the whole, I have a chance, and pulling the slot machine. Like, they make everything look like a slot machine. Even like games nowadays, Call of Duty, whenever you win a game, they're like, oh, well, you get these points so you can open up these chests to get a random drop. Fortnite, I mean, we're being indoctrinated from such a young age. It's kind of sad if you think about it, but still, very good marketing tactic, which you're going to have to imply anyways. People just love it. Their grandma needs to lock in. Yeah, Temu is the gulag for middle-aged women. Yeah, Temu is insane. My wife's mom has a cabin out in PEI, and her man calls it the Temu land because everything in the whole cabin is literally just got from Temu. And I actually got a bunch of stuff from there as well. I got like these engagement rings. I mean, I love my wife to death, but she's not wearing her real wedding ring. She's not going to do it. She's going to lose it, right? So I got her all of these $1, $2 burner rings, basically, and they look crazy good. So, and plus, you know what's so funny is that like people see that I have nice things, nice cars, nice apartment. I can wear the fakest thing ever, and they'll just assume that it's real. Like this watch was like $200, but everybody I talk to is like, "Dang, bro, what is that? Like a $20,000 watch?" I'm like, "No, but get her a ring pop." Yeah, pretty much, literally. She will lose it. Now look, I wanted to give a couple lessons, a couple things that I've been thinking about and learning about as of lately. So I'm going to give those as well. And the first thing I guess I really wanted to go over, right? We have a couple guys in here who have, some experience. Some guys are pretty dang far along. Some people not so far along. And so this is why I wanted to bring it up, is because it's really important to understand the difference between experience and social proof. Because a lot of the reasons as to why people are slow when they're beginning and why they get in their own head and why getting a client is harder than it needs to be is because they conflate the two. They conflate the two as in they think that experience and social proof are interchangeable. They're basically the same thing, when in reality they are not. They're actually very different. The difference is this, and this is why it really matters. The difference is that social proof means how many clients you've had. It means if you have any testimonials. Experience means how much you know and what is the skill deficit. What is literally the skill deficit? Because here is the bottom line. Anybody can learn anything, and most business owners already understand that. Most business owners already understand that you could take somebody who's genuinely really dumb, stupid, but if you worked hard enough, you could turn that person, or that person could become a brain surgeon. That person could become a brain surgeon. The question then is, what is the return on investments on actually training that person up? What is the return on investment on actually training that person up? So you can get somebody who might take 3 months to ramp up, but you can pay them less, so it actually costs you less. Or you can try to look for somebody who's top of the market, who have all this experience before. You're going to have to pay them more because they have the experience to back them up. You're probably going to have to train them up as well. So it's like, which route do you want to go? And the reason why I bring that up is to say this. You just have to make it in their best interest to be their best ROI option. And here's how you do that. Let's say you have two copywriters, copywriter A and copywriter B. They both have no social proof, but one has experience and one does not have experience. Here's what that means. And I'll go through and look at the chat here soon as well, my G's. Copywriter A has been copywriting for a month. Copywriter B has been also copywriting for a month. But copywriter A has just been like applying to some places, maybe doing some outreach, looking for some applications, but he hasn't really trained. He hasn't really studied. He hasn't really practiced. He hasn't really come on to the 40CI live calls, unlike all of you guys, of course. So what would you really say about him? What would you say about his situation? You say that he has no social proof and no experience. But the other copywriter, on the other hand, he has both. Not both. He has no social proof, but he does have experience. He breaks down ads every single day. He does test projects every single day. He shows up to the 40CI live calls. He shows up even to the 4D bootcamp live calls with Jasper, because those go on every single day and they're nuts. He understands the process behind creative strategy. He has a process behind it. He also familiarizes himself with creative strategy apps, creative strategy softwares, which pretty much nobody without experience or without social proof is going to do. Here's the difference, is that experience is 100,000% in your control. Social proof is within your influence, and you influence it by building up as much experience as you possibly can. And I want to go back to the software thing for a minute, the tools. Creative strategy tools. I've been asked actually before on creative strategy interviews, like, what creative strategy tools do you use? And I'm not going to lie, I got caught slipping. That's part of the reason as to why I love entrepreneurship, right? It's because you just take the feedback that you get, you don't take it personal, and you implement it into your next reps. And on that interview, I learned, you know what? Even though I don't actively do a bunch of creative strategy for clients, because I've been crushing it for, what are they called? For service-based businesses instead of e-commerce-based businesses. And creative is something that I want to get into more. Who's gay? Yes, creative is something I want to get into more. Ethan is derailing my train of thought. But in order to do that, I also need to familiarize myself with the tools as well. I don't need to buy them. I don't need to get a subscription to the tools or whatever. You can actually just learn how to use them before you even go on them. You can just familiarize yourself. The same with ActiveCampaign, for example, if you wanted to learn email marketing or MailChimp or any of those email service providers. And there's really, really easy ways to do that. So you have a couple, right? A couple of the big ones that people are going to use. One is Motion. I've done actually test projects with Motion before. It's very simple. I'll actually go through and show you guys here soon what that looks like. You guys have probably seen it before because I've been talking about it in a test project. Next is Foreplay. Foreplay is really simple. And then next is Particle, right? So what you will probably want to do is go through and look and just do a little bit of research, a little bit of tutorials on these and familiarize yourself with them. Because on the interview, they're going to be asking you questions and your answer doesn't really matter as much as if they can just find you tripping over your words and unprepared, right? So the guy with no experience is going to say, well, I don't have any experience with creative strategy yet, so I don't know any tools. The guy with experience is going to say, oh yeah, well, I've been playing around in Motion and Foreplay and stuff, and I'm by no means like an expert with the tools, but I've been familiarizing myself, learning more about them and how to use them. And I use them when I'm creating creative strategy test projects. Like how fire of an answer is that? If you have that answer, you're good. Fathom AI says, worst case scenario, you can at least mention how you scrape winning angles on Facebook Library. Yeah, exactly. I mean, Facebook Library is a tool as well. Yes, there was another thing. Yeah, but that's basically the big thing. That's the big thing. Other things, recording, this is going to sound crazy, but recording Loom video breakdowns consistently. And even put them on your social media. I don't know if you guys have watched the new 4D Creative Strategy Launchpad course videos. If you haven't, you definitely should. But inside of there, Mr. Jasper talks about creating your online profile. Now, you don't need, yeah, it is definitely super peak. You don't need a super huge personal brand in order to start. You don't need to be like a YouTuber or whatever. You need what I've been calling a personal brand business card. Right? It's not something where you're trying to get a bunch of views. It's just something where people can go to, almost like a portfolio of your work. Right? You upload like 3 to 5 simple Loom videos breaking down either like ideally it's like a case study. You have a case study of some creative that you wrote for a client, and even if it didn't do that well or you're still working for them, just having something where you are showing off social proof is fire. Even if you don't have social proof, you can still show off experience. Here is my breakdown of Carpe. Here's my breakdown of Carpe, their ads, some of the things I think that they're leaving on the table, and some of the things that I think that they're doing great. And if I were to start a deodorant brand tomorrow, after studying Carpe and Dr. Squatch, here's the first 5 ads I would make, right? This shows a bunch of things. One, it actually shows that you're working hard at it, you're learning. 2, it's experience proof because they get to see when you posted that. And if you posted it like 3 months ago, 5 months ago, 1 year ago, it's unquestionable for how long that you've been doing it. And then third of all, they actually get to see your thinking process and you're going to stand out much farther than the other guy who has no experience. Here's the thing, is that there are tons of applications out there. And if you've been applying to them, you know that all it really takes is you standing out because there's going to be tons of people who apply to them. A lot of them don't have that much experience either. So recording the Loom breakdowns, making sure you're hopping on calls like these, literally living, breathing, eating, and sleeping copywriting and creative strategy, right? Because copywriting is also really important. Don't forget that. Understanding buyer psychology, structures, why people buy, how to create a really good hook, etc. The other thing you're really going to need to know is how to interpret data. You have two different types of data. You have primary data, I guess you could call it primary KPIs, and then secondary metrics. Primary KPIs, we're talking about things like return on ad spend, ROAS, or average order value. Whereas the secondary stuff is more like the hook rate, the click-through rate, right? Because you can have a really good hook rate and a really through click-through rate, and the creative catches a lot of attention and it's really good content, but it only really matters if people buy. And the reason why I'm saying some of these things is because when you go into calls, when you go into interviews and you have these sorts of insights, like the things that I'm saying, a basic beginner is not going to know. They're not going to understand. They're not going to have an inkling of an idea. So if you can just recite some of those ideas, those topics, and some of the learning behind them, you'll be much farther along than the person who comes onto the call. It's just like, I don't know. I haven't really done much of this stuff, so I couldn't really tell you. So my takeaway is this, right? I like to give a lesson, talk about the principles, and then tell you actually what to do with yourself, what to do with your hands, what to do next. One is to come up with a study strategy. You know, it's crazy. I was actually on a 40CI call with a girl. She was looking to get into 40CI, and she did end up getting in. And she was talking about how she created herself a syllabus for copywriting. She's like, yeah, the first month I'm going to learn these couple things. The second week I'm going to learn these couple of things. I thought it was really interesting. I think that everybody should take a similar approach. She was actually a daytime or a nurse by day, so she had already gone through like the traditional path. That's how she learned really well. So a lot of people already have something like this already in mind, or they're already doing. But still, I want to farther encourage you to literally like become obsessed with it. If you get obsessed in 30 days and you get on a call, they're going to be able to tell. They're going to be able to know. They're going to already know that you know what you're talking about, which goes extremely far. Next, I wanted to show you the inside of motion, and I actually wanted to show you how you're going to learn motion as well. Because one of the best parts about motion specifically, but all of these tools, is that they're incentivized for you to learn how to use them. They're highly incentivized for you to learn how to use them. So Motion has their own YouTube channel, and a lot of the videos on here are super valuable. They're not very well viewed. They only have like a couple dozen views on each of them, but they're literally so good. So I'm going to share my screen and open them up with you, and we're going to go over it really quickly. Really, just straight up, really good creative strategy lessons. You go through and binge watch a lot of these. I'm on my wrong YouTube account, but whatever. You go through and binge through a lot of these, and you're going to learn, you're going to know, you're going to understand a lot of the vernacular that they use, which is really important, right? If they say a word, like if we're copywriters and I say something like, I don't know, a copywriting structure, and you can't recite a single structure, you don't know anything about structures, or you don't know what a hook is or something, I already know within 2 seconds, it's like, okay, yeah, this guy is like first day, this guy's straight up noob. If we were to get, and this is the implication with that, if we were to hire him, if we were to get him on, it would take us a long time in order to ramp him up. A lot of time, energy, and effort. That's not what people want. So that's how you would learn this as well. I'll send this over to you guys, or you can just see it. It's Motion Creative Analytics. Really good thing to learn in general. And this is what Motion looks like. So this is Motion right here. This is some of their top creatives in this specific account. And all this is it is a analytics tool. Right? It's an analytics tool that helps you keep organized and also look deeper into what's actually working behind everything. So that's how it works. Would you recommend only applying for creative strategies, and how much time should we take? Great question. So here's what my answer to that would be. Do I recommend only applying to creative strategists? No, I recommend applying to anything that is relevant, right? So what that means is you want to apply to copywriter positions, content writer positions, creative strategy positions, ad writing positions, script writing positions, blog post positions, anything that genuinely is relevant to you. You don't want to apply for video editing positions, graphic designer positions, any of those. You guys get the gist? Reason being is because if it's even just related or relatable, or it's something that you can put in your portfolio or use, then that's great. But if I am trying to become a copywriter and or creative strategist, and I've worked as a video editor in a bunch of businesses, how much does that really help me? That experience doesn't help me. It's not actually stacking on top of each other. Then you're building horizontally before you're even building vertically, which isn't always the best. So as a side note as well, in the new creative strategy lessons, Jasper and I both made up different lessons, and we actually both came up with a section for cover letter and portfolio. Actually, I think I came up with one for portfolio. He did portfolio and cover letter. But the reason as to why we decided to do it like that and why that's actually so important is because it's really, really bad to have everything looking like everybody else's, right? Format-wise, it's not really a big deal, but having 2 lessons in there. So if you've already seen my lesson on portfolio building, for example, I highly recommend you guys go check out his as well. Obviously, you can't use both of them literally at once, but taking notes of the different approaches and then using your own combination is where you're going to actually be able to stand out really well too. So primary angle, classic shave, modern tool, upgrade the classic shave without sacrificing the timeless masculine aesthetic. Is that what I'm seeing here? The Chairman Pro. Old school shave, new school shaver. Huh, cool. Why is that? Is that French? Core message, get the, just short persona, right. Why it works. The market is highly sophisticated, so instead of explaining features or expanding on the problem, the ad takes a bottom of funnel approach. Yeah, it's very bottom of funnel. Positioning, desired outcome. Right. French copy adds a high-end feel. Oh, okay, the French is in there, yeah. Shows the final result. Sweet. I would probably start with something that has a little bit more meat in it. Yeah, like this one, like an actual video. Hover, describe, guide. Kit's dad would love for Father's Day. Yeah, that's good. I like that. Number 1, beard, balls, and strays bundle. People really be using the same shaver with their balls and their beard. That's crazy. Bro, you have nuts wet on your chin, dog. That is so crazy. A lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. The beard hedger, and the weed whacker. Interesting. I have one of these, but I definitely don't use it on my face, bro. That's crazy. Weed whacker 3.0. Okay. Number 2, the beard hedger plus kit. The beard hedger plus, beard serum, beard taming stick, beard buffer, beard cleanser, handy beard accessories, pack free as a gift. Number 3, the performance package 5.0 Ultra, lawnmower, weed whacker, crop soother ball aftershave lotion, crop preserver, anti-chafing ball deodorant. That's crazy. Okay. Father's Day sale, 15% off. I think it's okay. You know what I've actually seen? I was, and this is a little bit of an aside, but maybe it will help somehow. I was watching some of these ads recently. What was I watching? Yeah, it was for a clothes brand. We might be able to get into it later. But they were talking about their new shorts, and they were stretchy gym pant, they were a khaki, and they were water wicking as well. So you could use them as like swim trunks. So they hit the 3-in-1 angle. You ever see those memes that are like the 25-in-1 shampoo memes? The reason why it's a meme is because, is because all these dudes out here are like, oh, bro, I have this like 13-in-1. It's shampoo, it's body wash, it's conditioner, it's toothpaste. And obviously it's kind of gross because like a 3-in-1, you're going to wash your body with the same thing you used to use shampoo and conditioner. And you're going to use it as like your shave cream too. It's just silly. But the 2-in-1 and the 3-in-1 is on like half of the soaps and the shampoos in the section are like all 2-in-1, 3-in-1. So it's a very strong and heavy marketing angle. That's what this reminds me of. I'm not saying that that's like the thing that's going to blow the account up. But that's an idea I think I would test with them. I think it has potential. The other thing with the ad is that I feel like it's very rapid fire, which it's supposed to, but it doesn't really explain, I guess, benefits. Yeah, actually, it kind of only gives features, like what it's called, and I'm not really hearing a lot of the benefits. For example, so this is the gift angle, right? And the thing I really love about creative strategy is you can relate it to your own life very well. When my wife, actually, you know why my wife got me this? She did get me one like this. My wife got me this because I said that you can't take clippers into the shower. And being able to take clippers into the shower is a benefit. Nothing here really tells me how I can use it or what the benefit really is. So maybe it's good for like some bottom of funnel, but I'm thinking that might be a way that we can even improve it as well. Father say gift guide. Give dad something he'll actually use. Right. Caption only plus B-roll ad. Right. Hook. 3 gifts dad would love. Core message. Partners. Yeah. Solution aware. Why it works. The market is highly sophisticated, so instead of educating the audience, ad introduces. Didn't you say this back here? Wait, bottom of funnel approach. See, you said the thing up here. What I'm getting from that is I'm getting AI/chat copy paste vibes. Now it might not be, but it kind of just feels like it. So when both of them start with this market is highly sophisticated. So instead of and something else that I think would help you is although I'll say this here. Although Manscaped is a great D2C ad account to study, I will say that you may want to pick some harder hitting / easier to talk about ones, especially for the beginning of the portfolio. Here's what I mean by that, right? If you look at a brand like, I don't know, like Nike or some of these other really big brands, their ads are really, really quite boring. And the reason why their ads are quite boring is because they're a lot less direct response. And I use that as like a descriptive word, whereas direct response is more of a binary, but I'm using it more of like a descriptor. Here's what I mean by that. A direct response is like, I put out a post and I tell you to click a link. I can see how many people click that link. That's direct response. If somebody puts up a billboard by the highway, that's non-direct response. That's just touch points. And that works by McDonald's has one of the biggest advertising budgets in the world because it's not like nobody's ever heard of them. Like everybody's already heard of McDonald's. But because you see them so often and you see them everywhere, they're hoping what'll happen is you're just like going home from work. Man, I'm really hungry. You look up, you see the double arches, and you go get yourself some McDonald's. So the reason as to why I say that is because when you have other ads, they are more creative in their creative. They're more interesting, they're more easy to talk about, and you probably like talking about them more. You like watching their ads more. So one thing that I would advise to anybody in here is go look at like 5 to 10 of those ad accounts. Go look through the videos, the things where like interesting things happen, or you see something that's like, whoa, that's like a really good piece of marketing. Things that you can really talk about, and then go from there. Because when I look at these ones, like, yeah, they do the job, but they're a lot more utilitarian than most. What I mean by that is that they work, they're good, but they're so simple that it's hard to really pull anything from them, right? So these aren't bad breakdowns by any means, but it's like you're not working with anything that's really showcasing what Thomas can really do. So you're always reminded of them when you're hungry. Yeah, exactly. There's more so on branding and aspect rather than direct response. Yeah, precisely. My notes, 3 new ways, field native hook. Yeah, I mean, all of this works. It sounds good, but you have, what tells me? Yeah, you can literally just pick another ad account to do and put that one above what we just watched. And you can probably just keep this as well. Oh no, they did the same thing that, yeah, okay. These anthropomorphic object ads are getting out of hand over here.
You're about to use scissors down there?
Yo, quick PSA, bro. If anybody's thinking about using scissors down there, please don't, bro. Please don't, bro. You're going to cut off your family line, bro. Please.
You do know I was literally designed for that. I come with 2 skin-safe blades to clean it up or get it smooth without...
Wait, what did you see? Look. Skin-safe technology does not guarantee cut protection. It sure does not, because it will still cut you.
Without stressing. I'm waterproof. Just take me in the shower and send it all down the drain. And I even have an LED light, so you can literally see every single hair. Stay ready before everything gets wild and sweaty down there.
Yeah, I mean, the anthropomorphic objects talking are actually seem to be performing really well because I see them all the time everywhere. Yeah, he talked about the waterproof. So he's talking about a lot of the features, or sorry, a lot of the benefits here. So this is more top of funnel. I even have an LED light. For some reason, the LED light isn't, well, I guess not for some reason because he has a face. So he can't really have the LED light there because the LED light goes right there. But the LED light is actually a game changer. Okay, safe grooming, AI narration ad from the product's perspective. Hook here, but he's, core message, stop using tools that weren't designed for intimate grooming. Yeah. Persona, men who currently use scissors. So when we think about persona, I want you to think a little bit deeper, right? Persona, I think I would add a little bit of demographic in there as well. So persona is like what they're like, their personality traits. Demographic is like, what are the facts about them? So if guys are about to use scissors down there, what does that tell you? That tells you that they probably never even dealt with down there at all before. So they're probably like not 30 or 40. I don't think, at least. I don't know. Maybe I don't know too much about. I can use conjecture though. And this is where research kind of comes into play as well. But I would imagine that guys who are older probably wouldn't do something so silly, right? So maybe that will work as well. Maybe you can use a line in there, and this is just conjecture as well. I'm not actually saying do this. But because this is for people who might be thinking about using scissors down there, they're probably younger, we can use some Gen Z language. Bro, if you use scissors down there, you're cooked. Again, that's just an example, but you get the point. Razors, generic trimmers, worried about cutting themselves. They're also quite embarrassed about the whole topic, the situation. Okay, yeah. Awareness level, solution aware. Is it solution aware? I feel like it would be problem aware now because they understand the problem. Maybe because solution aware would imply that they're like, man, I really need something that does these particular things. Whereas this one's saying you need something that needs these particular things. So I don't know. Maybe I'm getting it wrong, but what do you guys think? Making the topic feel less awkward. Opens to disapproving reaction. Shows the product. Yeah. What that tells me about this account. Okay, yeah. Majority static, demonstration, UGC. Cool. Yeah, I say it works. Yeah, let's get it. Now, down here. I don't know. Yeah, there's some huge gaps here. So I was like, oh, okay. All right, let's keep going. More seasonal gifts idea. Father's Day worked well. Expand the same formula to birthdays. Yeah, that could work. The problem with birthdays is that everybody has a different one. Whereas Christmas, it's like once Christmas is coming up, you already know. Once Valentine's Day is coming up, Father's Day, etc., you already know. These would work, but yeah, it's kind of almost a different category. It might be worth pointing that out. I've also seen this gift concept win in various other ad accounts. Yeah, because it just targets a broader audience from a fresh angle. The attractiveness and stinging angle. Attractiveness. Okay. A reference.
And your balls stink because you're hairy. I'm so sick of the double standard of men expecting us to be beautifully shaved with no smell down there and then y'all sitting here stinky hairy.
This is the controversy angle right here. So I believe I've heard this before. I haven't seen it in practice or know how much I don't know how much specifically it matters or affects it. But I think it was Jason Wojcik talk about how when you are creating ads, if you make it controversial or make some sort of engagement bait and more people are engaging with the ad, then the algorithm will actually push it farther and you can get a lower cost per view in order to do that. And that's where I kind of feel like is going on right here. I'm not really sure. And also it could be targeting women here since the girl is here speaking about it. She's talking about a double standard sort of thing. Interesting. I like this ad. This is the most interesting ad we've seen so far. We're only like 5 seconds in. Do you think she's tripping or what? Like, you expect us to be all good down there and you gonna be down there stanking because you blah, blah, blah? It's like, yo, who's we? Who are you talking about?
I would know.
Hashtag not all men.
Because I was a professional waxer, okay? Take off the hair, the smell will follow. Now I understand not everybody wants to get waxed. I'm not saying get waxed. What I'm saying is find a trimmer that's actually meant for your balls. This doesn't nick, it doesn't cut. I'm sitting here pressing it hella hard on my hand. Nothing. But at the same time, it gives such a great shave. Like, look at that. It comes with multiple guards and an attachment for your nose. You can really use this for anywhere. And they keep running sales. I believe they just restocked. If the orange cart is still here, that means they're still in stock.
Okay. So she used to be a waxer. I'm not saying don't get a wax, but...
Because you're hairy. I'm so sick of the double standard of men expecting us to be beautifully shaved with no smell down there and then y'all sitting here stinky hairy. I would know because I was a professional waxer.
So this one's definitely towards a younger audience as well because she is using Gen Z language like, I'm pressing it hella hard on my skin. Okay, miss lady. All right. Reference. Attractiveness and sting angle. Feeling fresh in your own body is, yeah. Missing opportunities. Okay. So the second angle that's a missing opportunity is the attractiveness and stinging angle. I'm not sure why this is a reference. Why test it? Feeling fresh. Yeah. So when it comes down to like why I test it, I think a lot of the times they're looking for they're looking for this, which is I would call soft evidence, right? Which is like the reasoning. But I'd also be looking for some hard evidence too. So what that might look like is, I saw that another brand, Dr. Squatch, I think they do soap and whatever, did this angle. And I think that we could change it to make it our angle. And I have a reason to believe that this ad did really well for them, for example. Or I've seen this pattern across these 3 different ads. And then this is why I think it would work really well. So I think that'd be really good too. You mean data and stuff? Yeah, it could be data. But the thing here is that we don't really have the quote unquote data behind the ad account. So I would just use like reasoning. Reasoning in terms of patterns I see, or even research that I've done. You know what would go really hard here is if you took like a screenshot from Reddit of some dude saying like, oh, well, I used this one razor and it got really hot. Or I used this one razor and it didn't really, as soon as I took it into the shower to wash everything away, it broke. And whenever I use my razor, here's a really good one. Whenever I use my razor, my wife is always so mad because I get my hair everywhere. This is not from personal experience, by the way. I get my hair everywhere. So then it makes a mess. So I want to do it in the shower. But now I can do it with Manscaped because you can actually take it into the shower. So that's the reason. Format iterations of winning ads. They test a huge number of ads. So look winning ads. Static in reverse. Cost. New. Unique. As a market separation. Okay. Reference. See this one.
Ever wondered if shaving your hair makes it grow back thicker? When you shave, you're slicing the hair at the surface, where it's
That's a fire hook. Because this is like so heavily debated.
thickest. So the truth is, shaving doesn't change how your hair grows. It won't make it thicker or coarser. It just looks different because of the blunt cut.
You can even shave the hair from your balls and ass without fear. Even if you want to, it's impossible to cut yourself with this machine. If you're a man and you like to shave body hair, even from the most sensitive and intimate areas, if you buy...
The man who cleans his home is expecting visitors. That's all I gotta say, bro. Bro, use a toy as a demonstration. Here's this fuzzy little animal. Watch me shave it with this. Actually, we didn't even get through, did we?
Directly on Amazon, you'll be throwing money away. That's because in the official store on TikTok Shop, the same product is 50% off. So if I were you, I wouldn't waste time. Click on the orange button now.
It's cool. Yeah, I messed with it. I think that's a good hook for sure. This sort of like a Jack D Films hook, that's what that is really good. It's kind of like the blue background with the 3D animations. These perform really well.
Ever wondered if shaving your hair makes it grow back thicker? When you
and the question is also just fire.
You shave, you're slicing the hair at the surface, where it's thickest. So the truth is, shaving doesn't change how your hair grows. It won't make it thicker or coarser. It just looks different because of the blunt cut.
You can even shave the hair from your balls and ass without...
Transition is crazy. Okay, what I test focusing on branding with a difference of sophistication market is one way. The other way is to create a new way to present a unique mechanism that differentiates it from everyone else. A winning example could be swipe with this reference. Yeah, there's only so many things that it can do though. And we kind of have to work with what we got already in the ad account. All right, guys, welcome back. I hope that was super, super valuable to you. I know that I learned so much just by breaking down certain ad accounts and just doing it consistently time and time again and doing so many per month. I mean, if you literally just said, all right, I'm going to break down 100 ads in the next month, that right there, that input would get you so much farther along skill-wise. Which brings me to my next section here, which is creative strategy practice exercises. Pretty much everything we've covered so far has been conceptual. What creative strategy is, why it's a massive opportunity, what the terms mean, how someone with no experience can actually break in. Now we're going to do the actual work, you and me. And I want to be really clear about something before we start, is that these exercises are not just busy work. They're not just things that you can do so that you feel productive. Every single one of them produces something real that you can use in actual application. A portfolio piece, a loom breakdown, a brief you can show a hiring manager. Remember the sawdust concept, which is this. When a sawmill cuts melts lumber, sawdust is a byproduct. For a long time, mills would take that sawdust and just throw it away. Then someone figured out that they could sell it too. It's the same output as before, but now you have double the value. That's what these exercises are. You're practicing, and the byproduct of that practice is a portfolio. One action, multiple results, so let's get into it. A byproduct of the practice is a portfolio and your skills. And when you have better skills, you'll be able to get clients. When you get clients, you'll be able to turn practice into your actual work. Once you're doing the actual work, those things also become your portfolio. Those things also become you building your skills. So this is the one thing that is going to build the chain reaction that leads to you becoming a highly paid copywriter and creative strategist. So exercise 1, it's as simple as it gets, the ad account breakdown. This is the most important habit that you can build as a creative strategist, and the one that most people skip because it doesn't feel like the real work. It is the most real work you can do. And here's what you're going to do. Open Facebook ad library. It's free. You don't need an account. Just go to Facebook ads library and you're in. And I'll demonstrate what that looks like. So here is exactly what you're going to find when we come to the ad library. So on top of that, what I want you to do is go to the school community. This is completely free. It's the Copy Starter Kit. It's linked down below. When you go to the Creative Strategy Resource Pack right here, you open that up. You can go to the portfolio template, which is right here. It's going to give you this Google Doc. And then once you're in here, it shows you everything you need to know to build a portfolio. But what I really wanted to look at is all the examples. So you have apparel here, supplements here, men's products, EDC, home kitchen, beauty, pets, food, beverage, sleep and recovery, et cetera, et cetera. So you can just take any of these and you can go look them up and see exactly what they're doing. So we're going to go with AG1. So I copy that. I hop over here. I put it inside. And then I'm going to look for it. I don't see it. I'm just going to pick a different one. All right, I went over here and clicked on Orbit Key. Now this looks like some EDC stuff as well. So what do we see? Well, if I start at the top, okay, so these are some of their, this ad is actually pretty old. This is from January 7th. So that tells me that it is probably something that is working or has been working because they've been running it for the past 7 months or so at this point. So what is it? The 2-in-1 tech accessory pouch is $104. So the other thing that's kind of related to what I told you is that none of these brands are going to compete on price at all. In fact, they're going to do the opposite. They're going to figure out what's the most possible money that they could charge. And I mean, $104 to start with upsells as well, like another essentials pouch and some other stuff is, it's definitely a premium price. But that's good. That's what you want. That increases your average order value so that you're actually able to spend more on ads anyways. It says, still digging through your bag, trying to find your cables, chargers, and tech accessories. This 2-in-1 tech accessory pouch keeps you organized, whether you're at the desk or more. With a removable desk pouch, self-standing design, cable, and some more stuff there. So that's called a static ad. It's just a photo itself. Like this one, static ad, and this one is a static ad as well. Then we have this one, which is a video ad. So if we go over to see ad details, we can actually just press play and watch what it says. So let's watch it together real quick.
Product. I think it's a hybrid laptop sleeve. What I really like about it is that it looks super slick. It holds my laptop. It's slim. It's made.
So what is this? This is a UGC ad. User-generated content, and he's also just kind of giving a testimonial on why he actually likes it. It's a hybrid laptop sleeve.
Premium vegan leather, also recycled materials. But what's really special about it is when you put it on the table, it actually doubles as a desk mat. Check it out.
So you'll also notice that a lot of these products have something unique about them that is only them. And I want to give kind of like an example. I do this all the time where I might see something like this and I'm like, wow, I really like that. I would like to have that exact thing. And then I go and I guarantee it's going to be like literally expensive as heck, like for no reason. $109. I mean, that's not terrible. I've seen ones that are crazier. $109 for a laptop sleeve that turns into, I guess, like a big mouse pad. Okay, well, I want that, but I want it on Amazon because Amazon, you can get it in Prime. It comes faster, free shipping, and also you can return it super hassle-free within the first 30 days. I go and look on Amazon. It doesn't have one that have this exact thing. It doesn't have one that opens up like the mouse pad, like this one, like I wanted. So I'm like, well, screw it, And especially if I'm seeing all these ads and once you click on an ad one time, you go look at the price, now you're going to get served that ad over and over and over and over again. So I'll see it like the 8th time on 10 days later. I'm like, screw it, man. I should just pull the trigger and get it. Or right? I do some boy math and I'm like, oh, well, I just returned this other item for $100. That's $100 free that I just got back. So why don't I spend it on this? And I'm not saying it makes any sense, but that's the thing about buyer psychology, is that it's not logical. People buy with emotion and they justify with logic. So that's the idea. That's usually what ends up happening. So having a unique mechanism is something that you really, really want to have in your products. This makes it so that nobody else is really doing exactly what you're doing, and people will buy from you instead of just buying whatever is cheapest. So that's the idea. And this is how you just go on and make an ad account breakdown. You might look at a lot of these videos, look at a lot of these static ads here as well, and just ask yourself some very basic questions. Who are they going after here? This guy said that he's a business guy. Okay, that makes perfect sense. You obviously wouldn't really market this to some dude who is in a hard hat and a safety vest, a high-vis jacket, and like some work boots. It would be like this guy who seems to be like at an office or an office desk or something of that nature. So who is it speaking to and why? So let's watch another one really quickly.
I'm the type of person that move around a lot at work, and this thing,
I'm the type of person who moves a lot around at work, even in these big glass offices. When you have your actual UGC creator, they're 9 times out of 10, probably 99 times out of 100, going to be the exact person that you are going to be advertising to. They're your persona that you want to target. So people want to watch videos from people who are like themselves. So this one looks like somebody else. Let me watch this one last one here.
The lovely team over at Orbit here reached out and wanted to send me some of their latest Disney collection items. I'm so excited because
Okay, so this one is a Disney Collections item version. And as you can see, she has a bunch of like, I guess you would call them like teddy bears or something. She seems to be like a collector, right? And that's who they want to target. They want to target the collector type person. So notice that here's what the concept might look like. A girl talking about the Orbit Key sending her their Disney package, and she's unboxing it, and she has to be sitting in front of her collection of, I guess, children's toys and things. I don't know. Not that I'm judging, but I just don't know what that is. So yeah, you get the idea. Congratulations. You and I have just broken down your very first ad. Now, you already saw me break down ads here earlier, but this is what it would look like for you to do it. Obviously, you want to do it much more in depth than I just did it. You want to write down what are your insights, what are the common themes and common patterns that you're looking at as well. Now, here's exactly what I want you to do after watching this entire video. You still got a ways to go. Here's what I want you to do after. This is like your homework. Pick one DTC brand, spend 20 to 30 minutes in their ad library, write down your observations. What are the winning angles? What are the hooks that keep appearing? What emotional territory are they playing with? What haven't they tried yet? Do this every single day. A different brand every few days. Go deep on each one. By the end of the 30 days, you'll have studied more real creative strategy than most people see in a year. And every breakdown you write down is a portfolio piece that you can reference in an application. That's it. Yo, what is up, everybody? It's your boy Tyson4D, and today we are going to be covering building your creative strategy portfolio and why. This is one that people get stuck on for a very long time. It is a huge point of contention where people just chill. They just chill. They say, I'm building my portfolio. I'll get around to it. I got to pick the colors and stuff, and I got to keep adding more to it and make it more pretty. Guys, we need to talk about how to package all that into something that actually gets you hired. Let's talk about portfolio first, because most people are going to get this wrong. A portfolio is not a fancy website with a custom domain and a logo and an About Me page that took you 3 weeks to build. I've seen people spend an entire month building a portfolio website before they have ever sent a single application. Meanwhile, someone else with a Google Doc and 2 strong concepts landed a client the same month. And I can attest to this. It was, I think it's just yesterday or the day before, I was on a interview. Pretty sure I'm gonna get this one as well. I actually did get an interview, and I'm starting tomorrow as well with another client. So this past client I was talking to, well, he's going to be a client. He was telling me about my portfolio, and he was like, bro, I love that you put this brand in there and that brand in there. And that all seems to make perfect sense. Although, you haven't had a lot of e-commerce clients before. I really like the briefs and things that you've already done. That's it. Market feedback right there. So the website doesn't get you hired. The work gets you hired. It's very tempting, right? And I'm not saying that making a very high quality, good looking portfolio is bad per se. There are some people who make their portfolio here on Gamma, right? With these kind of slides and things, and they look really good. There are some people who go above and beyond and really put a lot of brands in there and a lot of breakdowns and a lot of case studies and a video as well. And all that stuff is fine and dandy. The problem only arises when you are not applying because of said things, okay? So what I want you to do is build like a bare bones application, start applying, and then maybe in 2 weeks, start updating it. Because in 2 weeks, you will have done some test projects, will have learned more, and you can then invest a little bit more time into making it look just a little bit better. But at the end of the day, you're not going to be hired because it looks better. You're going to be hired because of your skills, the test project, how you do on the interview, and these sorts of things. So a portfolio is simply proof that you can think like a creative strategist. That's it. 1 or 2 pieces that show someone who's never met you that you understand their business, the customer, and how to create concepts that could actually work. That is the whole thing. That's it. So what your portfolio actually needs. You need 2 or 3 strong pieces, not 10 mediocre ones, 2 or 3 that are genuinely sharp. Each piece should include the brand you chose, the research you did and what you found, the persona you built from that research, the angle you chose and why, the concept and brief you built from it, and a short note explaining the strategic rationale. The last part is what most beginners are going to leave out. Right? Most beginners think that they care about the writing. They don't necessarily care about how well it's written or your sentences. They care about how good the ideas are and how well you can communicate why you think these will work, and what your hypothesis really is on why it will work and why you've engineered it in such a way. Remember what the head of copywriting who screened 100 copywriters said. The experienced people couldn't explain their own decisions. The newer ones with great portfolios could back up 80% of their decisions with solid strategic rationale. Your rationale is what separates you from everyone else. Don't just show what you made, show why you made it. So how to build your portfolio pieces up fast. I have a resource here for you guys. If you go right here into the free 4D copywriting community, right? It's linked down below as a free copy starter kit. You can go right here to the creative strategy resource pack. If you open that right up, then right here, you will see that you have this, the creative strategy portfolio template. You open that up and you get this. So here's the real exact process. You pick a real D2C brand that you're interested in. It doesn't matter if you've never worked with them before. Not a big deal. At the top, you can put a note as these aren't brands that I've worked with before, but these are brands that I have used in order to demonstrate my thinking and rationale behind my creative strategy skills. Go through a full research process, kind of like we talked about. Build a persona from real customer language, identify the strongest angle, and write the concept and brief. All you really, I have it right here. You just have to fill out this stuff. Okay. Then add a short paragraph at the top that explains your thinking. Something like, oh, I chose this angle because the research shows that this demographic has tried multiple products and that's why they all felt left down by them. The frustration isn't about the product, it's about them feeling like nothing really works for the specific situation. This angle speaks directly to that feeling instead of making another claim about product quality. That's the strategic rationale. That's what makes a hiring manager put your portfolio down and think, yeah, this person's actually gonna get hired, this person gets it. Do this for 2 or 3 different brands in different categories, skincare or supplements or fitness, home goods, whatever, and just show your range. Here's what one of those looks like all put together. So brand overview at the top, research findings, persona, angle chosen, and why, hook, concept, brief, rationale. It's clean, it's simple, it's easy to read, it's understanding, it's just simple. That's your portfolio. So going over here. Right. This is the example that I've given you. I've made it as simple as possible. I highly recommend that you don't just like there are some example words and stuff down here. Don't copy it verbatim. Just use the structure and understand it. So all the stuff that's highlighted is the stuff that you're going to not include in your specific portfolio. So all you need to do is go up to File, Make a Copy, which is somewhere right there. Make a copy, and then just start. Okay, so the instructions are here and the examples. I have tons of examples. So apparel, supplements and health, men's products, EDC and accessories, home kitchen, beauty, pets, food, beverage, sleep, recovery, and that's why. So for each brand, this is what you're going to want to do. The goal is not to show that you're a designer or a writer, but to show how you think. I add a quick about me section as well. So this is just a photo, and then you can hyperlink on the photo to go to a Loom video. This is a simple Loom video where I say, how's it going? My name is Tyson. This is some of the things that I've been able to do in the past, and this is why you should hire me as a creative strategist. That's basically it. This is 90 seconds, 1 minute and 31 seconds. Not super long. A little bit about your background, etc. And then you have your brand breakdowns. So I have some videos of me actually completing some of these a little bit later, but this is it. This is as simple as it really gets. Missing opportunities, new concepts that I would test and why, a mock-up / creative brief, brand breakdown 2, repeat the exact same structure, 3, same structure, how I'd help your brand, my approach. That's it. That's all. That's it. That's how it goes. So you guys have that at your fingertips. Again, I will be doing a demonstration later on here where I was actually doing it live in front of a class where they were asking questions. So you'll go and watch that and then you will be caught up 100%. So how do you even go about getting your first creative strategy client realistically? Okay, everything we've covered so far has been about building the skill. right? And getting ready, understanding what creative strategy is, how to study what winning ads, how to research personas, how to build concepts and briefs, how to put together a portfolio. Now we're going to talk about how to actually turn all of that into a paying client. The good news is that this part is simpler than most people are going to think. Here's the bird's eye view. There are e-commerce brands and agencies posting for creative strategists every single day on places like LinkedIn, Twitter/X, Upwork, job boards. Real roles with actual budgets, and they really want to hire people. Your job is to find them, apply better than anyone else, nail the test project, and show up on the interview like someone that they'd actually want on their team. That's it. That's the whole thing. So step one is finding the applications. We covered this already, but the short version is this. Use LinkedIn to search creative strategist, filtered for remote, and posted in the last week or so, right? Maybe you'll start with maybe the last 4 weeks, last month, and then narrow it down. And then every day you check it, you just click for the last 24 hours. Check Twitter and X, then check job boards, then check Upwork. It's very, very simple. I'll do a very quick example for you right now on LinkedIn. So right now I'm opening LinkedIn and then I'm searching up hiring creative strategist, really simple keyword here. And then I see a bunch of things, right? So this one is a hybrid and it's in Vancouver. So I definitely ain't moving out west to go and do that one. This guy's hiring a full-time creative strategist, right? I already gave you guys a bunch of examples, but this is as simple as it gets. So you can go over here to posts in the top left. And yeah, you're just going to get a bunch of posts of people hiring creative strategists. Some of them from 10 hours ago, 1 week ago, 1 day ago, and you're going to want to just filter them, okay? Now, as a quick tip, when you're filtering those applications, you want to put them in sort of like a tiered system, right? Think of it like tier one. You can do 2 tiers or 3 tiers, whatever you want. Tier one is like, the ones that I really want to apply to. They're looking for a creative strategist right now, and it's like $3K a month. That's perfect. If it's like tier 2, it's like, I'm looking for a creative strategist, but you must have 2 years of experience and you don't have any. Well, I mean, that's still one that you should fill out and do, but don't put your all into it and don't do that one first. Then you have the third bucket, which is like people who are like, don't message me at all unless you've worked on multiple accounts and you've had over 100K in ad spend per month or something like that. So that one seems to be all right. There's no reason why I would even do that one. And then you have the ones that are just completely as well. Like we want you to be in Mumbai in an office. Obviously, you're not going to do those ones. So finding them is very, very simple. And that process I just showed you there goes with anything, Twitter/X, Upwork, any other job boards. Step 2 is to apply better than anyone else. Now, people often ask, well, how do I apply better? It's a very, very, very simple equation and thought process that I'll give you here now as well. So most applications look identical. There's generic text, no personalities, no proof of skill, and yours isn't going to look like that, right? You don't want yours to look like that. So the first thing you want to do is record a short Loom video. The Loom video is just a screen recording with a video of your face in the corner. Right? 2 or 3 minutes on camera, walk through 1 or 2 specific observations about their brand or their current ads or why you think you'd be a good fit, and keep the written proposal underneath very short and direct. The combination puts you ahead of the vast majority of people. If you're sending people personalized Loom videos with every single application, that's great. A lot of the times they're going to ask you for one anyways, so always submit one. Step 3 is to nail the test project. So most brands will send you a test project before they commit to hiring you long-term. Treat it like it's already the job, right? Full research, full effort. They might not ask you to do persona research. You go and grab screenshots from places like YouTube comments or Reddit or Amazon reviews of products, and they didn't even ask for that. You're putting yourself above and beyond. That is exactly what you do. So you can over-deliver on a couple of ways. You can over-deliver on quality. Okay? This is you going in and doing the extra bit of research. You and doing things that you weren't even asked to do in the first place. Next is on quantity. So they ask you for 1 creative brief, you make them 3. The next is speed, right? Now, when it comes to applications and test projects, they usually give you a pretty lax and relaxed and chill deadline because they're going to be hiring people for like a week or 2 anyways and really looking through the candidates. So this one isn't as important, but if you're just fast with things in general, you're replying to your messages fast, you're giving back the test projects fast, that really works in your favor. Those are the 3 biggest things that you can do, right? And anything else kind of falls within those categories a little bit. So making a Loom video, making it super personalized, following up with them, right? All those things infer that you are a hard worker. So that's the test project. That's what it looks like. Step 4 is to show up to the interview, right? This is another big one that you can actually really excel at. By the time you're at the interview, they've already seen your application, your Loom, your portfolio piece, test project. They already like you. Your job on the call is just simple. Be honest with them at where you're at. point back to the work that you've already shown them, answer the strategic questions with real process and not vague generalities, and be a normal switched on person that they'd actually want for their team. And that's basically it. The information is all there. The portfolio, the template, the system, the interview, it's all right here in this video. This is all the stuff that you need, period. The only thing left to do is just go do it. Find a job posting today, build your application, and send it before you feel ready. It shouldn't take you more than a weekend. I promise you it should not take you more than a weekend to build your portfolio and get applying. That's it. That's me being generous as well. If you were really about it, you do it right now, today, after this video. A lot of the people are going to comment down below, I'm starting on August such and such, and I'm going to come back in 3 months. Yet, whenever they finish this video, they're actually going to put it into action. Telling. After doing these steps for a couple weeks, here are some of the calls that are booked. I don't think that they're all here because I forgot to keep track of them, but here are some of them at least. Please choose a slot on my calendar. This is what it's going to look like when you close some calls. So this is a Google Calendar. Someone says, hi, Tyson. Thank you for completing phase 1 of the application process for the creative strategy role. We're pleased to move you on to phase 2, which is the assessment stage. So they gave me a test project. I did the test project. We're happy to let you know that you successfully passed the assessment for the creative strategy position. As the next step, please schedule your interview call here. And then I scheduled the interview. And then after the interview, they gave me another call for a final chat. This is them asking that as well. Someone else, this one was on WhatsApp, so they'll message you on any real place, different places. Hi Tyson, how you doing? This is the owner of the business. I saw that you applied for the creative strategy position. Would love to set up a call. On this one's through LinkedIn InMail. Thank you very much for reaching out. When works for you for a call to discuss further? And I sent over my call at Calendly. Someone else over email says, thank you for your interest in joining the team. My name is this, and I'm excited to invite you to an interview to get to know you better, discuss the opportunities, etc., etc. So, I mean, I don't know what to say, right? A couple weeks in, just applying whenever I get a chance. I'm a pretty busy guy, so I don't have that much time. But I've been able to book all of these calls. Some of these calls are yet to happen. Some of them have already happened and have already closed the client. Some of them have already happened, but I didn't get picked for the role anyways. So, I mean, that's basically it. If I close 25% of the interviews that I get on, it's literally a walk in the park, right? I get on interviews like at least 1 or 2 per week, right? So it's really not that difficult. And I wanted to share with you this screenshot as well that I just thought was great. Someone said that this was Mohammed in the 40 bootcamp wins section. He said, okay, this is crazy. I never thought I'd be here and I'd be telling you this, and I'm getting my first client. Well, today is the day. After 7 months of outreach, not consistently, by the way, I had a lot of breakdowns and I stopped many times. But on Thursday, I said, forget it. I'm doing 100 outreaches. So I sent Instagram DMs, emails, LinkedIn messages, Upwork proposals, and I still can't believe it. I even started tearing up because it's finally working. I closed one client on Instagram for $900 to handle their entire email marketing. I also closed one client on Upwork. I impressed her with my portfolio, thanks to Tyson. Guys, the portfolio stuff that I showed him, it's the same stuff that I just showed you. I built the best portfolio I could because of him. I'll be handling her ad angles, YouTube scripts, and email marketing for $2,000. There's another client too, but I'm still waiting. We had a sales call, everything went well, but I'm still waiting for that one message to move further. So he has 2 clients he just closed, $2,900, and also another one on the hook. It's crazy because I never thought that I'd be sharing this win with you guys. I honestly never thought that I'd have one. I did 100 outreaches without thinking about the money. I focused on getting better at outreach, and it worked. My first client and my first real win. The reason why I wanted to show this to you today is because a lot of you guys are going to be on the fence about actually putting these things into action after you watch it, right? And I just want to give you so much inspiration that it literally makes it so that you are frothing at the mouth to take an obsessive amount of action. Because sometimes that's just what it takes. See, people think that if they work slowly, they will get there slowly. But that's actually not the case. If you work slowly, you'll never get there because it will take too long for you to start seeing results to where you will get discouraged. If you do things super quickly, you will get there slowly. If you don't do things at all, obviously you're not gonna get there. So that's the 3 main outcomes. You do nothing, you get nothing. You go slow, you still get nothing. You go fast, you get there slow. And slow is general. I mean, if we are talking about the traditional path that takes you 4 to 6 years of school before you can start earning somewhat decent money and paying off the huge amounts of student debt that you already took on, it's lightning speed. It's light speed compared to that, right? By slow, I mean like brother did this in a couple weeks, right? 7 months of inconsistent outreach. Like I said, he was trying to do it slowly, right? Stopping here, stopping there, and nothing really happened. When he said, screw it, I'm just going to work like an animal, and he became outcome independent, he stopped taking it personally. Only then was he able to finally get some clients. So that's why I wanted to show you that. I really care about your guys' success. It's my responsibility to make sure that you guys are as successful as possible. So let's continue. So something a lot of people do is they don't really follow up when they do application. This is another way that you can really stand out. I mentioned it a little bit before, but I wanted to go a little bit deeper into it now. This is one of the easiest and most overlooked ways that you can stand out from everybody else. Wait 2 or 3 days after you submit, then send a short message. Hey, I just wanted to follow up on my application. Still really interested in the role. Happy to answer any questions or jump on a quick call. And that's all. That's it. That one sentence right there takes almost no effort, but nobody's going to do it. And if you feel like you're getting the cold shoulder, bro, I mean, like I used to get a lot of clients through outreach, and outreach is so much more of a fight than applications are. Demand is so high for creative strategists. It's just nuts. You don't have to outreach. You just go to people who already desperately want your services. So as long as you can prove to them that you're actually going to follow through with what you're saying, what you're doing, then you're going to get hired, period, okay? So following up, super, super useful. Most people don't do this because they feel like they're being annoying. You're not being annoying, you're being professional. And in a pile of 50 people who applied and disappeared, you were the one who's actually going to stand out. That one follow-up has gotten people interviews that they wouldn't have gotten otherwise, more times than I can even count. So that's what applying better than everyone else actually means. You have to show your face on the loom, make it specific about their brand, attach proof before they ask, and follow up after you submit. So now I want to go over the interviews. This is another great part of the process, another part where people will get tripped up, okay? So you're always going to have base questions. Here's how you break them down, okay? These are the questions that come up almost every single creative strategy interview. You can predict them. You know that they're going to come up. You can prepare for them. And you should know the answers to these so well that they come out naturally without you having to think. Things like, walk me through your creative strategy process. How do you do persona research? How do you come up with angles for a brand you've never worked with before? What metrics do you look at when evaluating creative performance? How do you decide when to scale or kill an ad? These are not trick questions. They're just trying to see if you actually have a process or if you're winging it. If you don't know anything about creative strategy and you get on the call and they ask you one of these and you just say, I don't know, I haven't worked as a creative strategist before. You're cooked, bro. You're cooked. And I'm saying start before you're ready, but I'm also saying you got to get ready quickly. You should know this stuff. Again, first day, first weekend. You should already have these things under your belt. You're going to see how I answer them on the spot, but continuing. And the way to nail them is simple. Know your process inside and out and be able to explain it clearly and specifically to them. Not, I researched the brand and look what's working. That's what everyone says. It's simple, right? Your answer should be something like, I start by auditing their current ad account and understanding what angles they're already testing. Then I go into competitor research using the ad library to see what's performing in the market. Then I do some persona research on things like Reddit, Amazon reviews, and YouTube comments to find real customer language. Then I look for the gap between what's already been said and what customers are actually feeling. That gap is where I find the angles that are worth testing. That's the process, right? You want to be specific about everything. That's the kind of answer that makes someone put down their pen and think, yeah, okay, this guy gets it. He knows. All right, he knows. So go through every base question that you can think about and write it all out. These are the base questions that you need to know. I just gave them all to you. That's base question prep. Next is situational questions, right? This is a different type. So these ones are fundamentally different because you can't really script your way through them. Situational questions are things like getting asked to do a live ad account analysis on the spot. It sounds crazy, but it has actually happened. It hasn't happened to me before. But some of the other students were like, yeah, I got on the call and they were like, all right, here's an ad account, break it down. You need to know how to do that too. And what's funny is by already looking at the base questions and mastering those, the situational questions get a lot easier, and you'll see. Or being given a product and asked to come up with 3 angles right there on the call. Or being shown a low-performing creative and asked to diagnose what's wrong with it. You can't practice these with flashcards. The only way to get good at them is to actually get good at the skill. And the way you do it is by studying, not casually consuming content at 2x speed while you eat cereal, but actually studying slow, intentional, and taking notes. And here's what that looks like. You find an ad account and breakdowns and creative strategy walkthroughs from people who actually know what they're doing and have seen it, right? Like you're doing right now. Watch them at 1x speed or even 0.75. Pause when something clicks, write it down by hand. And I think I already showed you this anyways, but I'm going to show it to you one more time. I do all of this as well. I write it all down by hand and I write it down by cursive so I can go even slower. I'm forced to go even slower. Some people's cursive makes it go faster, but I don't. At that point, you're probably just doing a chicken scratch. There's something about writing notes by hand that makes the information stick in a way that typing does not. Your brain processes it differently. You retain more. And when you're in an interview and someone asks you to analyze an ad account on the spot, the thing you wrote down by hand 3 weeks ago is the thing that actually will come out. Inside of the free copy starter kit, which I already have linked, in the description, I've got multiple hours of ad breakdowns, as you can see. So this is 1 hour of the top 10 ads of Q1. This is the breakdown right here. And then also me reviewing people's portfolios, which I already talked about and showed you about, for 50 straight minutes, right? So you have a couple hours there, and stuff will be added to it consistently, which you guys will be able to see in there as well. So you definitely need the copy starter kit, because the person who walks into situational questions, having watched 20 hours of real breakdowns with a notebook full of observations, is a completely different person than the people who go in and they watch some content at 2x speed, right? While they're doing something else, while they're brushing their teeth, while they're getting ready for their day. The preparation is the same. It's the retention of the information that is just completely different, right? It's the way that they prepare. More proof that this actually works, right? I want to sprinkle this throughout because here's another one. Yo, Tyson, long since we last spoke, bro. Just wanted to say I've still been following everything that you're doing, and your content is great. Keep going hard. And I also wanted to just thank you for the opportunity you gave me back in the day to join your mentorship, because I'm currently at 14K per month with Copy. I got to work with some of the best and biggest D2C brands out there, which is such a privilege. So W's for him as well. 14K per month. Insane. So when you see all the demand out there, you see people really making money with it. I mean, it's just simple. All you really need to do is follow the systems. Now, I want to go over and show you guys some real interview footage. This is actual interview footage that I have done with clients before in the past, or potential clients. I mean, I'm still in the process of doing interviews. I have a couple scheduled for tomorrow. I'm being onboarded by a client tomorrow as well. So these are relevant as to this video. If you're watching this video and it's like a month or two old, then there's probably a lot more interviews that I have, which I'll probably be uploading on the channel too. So for now, you can watch these ones. Now, I have a whole different intro on that video, so I'm going to play that now. You guys can go enjoy. Peace. Yo, what is up, everybody? It's your boy Tyson40, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Instead of me going through some lessons and things, I'm actually going to be showing you these interviews. Now, the video and also the audio is changed in order to protect the identity of the people that I'm doing the videos with. I just don't think that they would really appreciate their entire hiring process, or their hiring questions and things, and how their business operates, to just be completely out in the open. So out of respect for them, I've decided to do that, but it doesn't really matter. What really matters is you guys paying attention to what questions they're asking and how I'm answering them. I also cut out a lot of questions where they are either super repetitive, so they're all asking the same things, or just them kind of just not yapping. I mean, I want them to yap because I want to know more about their business, but they're telling me about their employee structure and what their plans are for the future, and this new AI tool that they made, which, I mean, it's not the most relevant to the people who are watching right now. I want to make sure that I'm actually spending your time in the best possible way with no extra fluff in there. So on top of that, I will be pausing it momentarily to go through and kind of break down my answers and break down their questions and break down some of the things that they're saying. So without any further ado, let's go through and watch it.
Yeah, all good, man. How you doing? All good?
Good. Yeah, how are you?
All good. Nice setup. I really like it.
Thanks, brother.
Clean.
Yeah, appreciate it. So first thing he says is nice setup. I really like it. Now, this seems completely irrelevant, but I'm not even gonna lie. People are going to judge a book by its cover. So if you are not dressed to impress, right? Right now I got on my Rock Lee shirt. I wouldn't wear this to an interview, okay? You see I got a plain black tee right here in the studio, and things are looking good. And this is important, right? It's important to do that. And also just make it yourself. I know I'm not giving a studio tutorial right here, but you don't gotta be okay, I gotta put a cello in the background and a couple guitars. It's just make your background look professional. That's all it really takes. And make sure that you look professional. If you look like you're living in a World War II bunker, then that's bad. That's wrong. You can't see his camera right here, but he has the effect where basically everything in his background is blurred. That's an amazing effect to have. You definitely want to have an effect like that. And there's tons of different ways that you can do it, but you can make just make your background look really, 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 really good. When you get on a call with somebody and like I said, their background just looks crazy. There's paint peeling off the walls. There's lights flickering in the back and stuff. You can hear their alarm chirp because they haven't replaced the battery in it. All of these things give very subtle signs that you are not somebody who is organized or takes care of their business very well. So you want to do the exact opposite.
Sweet. Well, thank you very much, obviously, for joining. Also, thank you for all the tests you did around a week ago. I really liked everything. So yeah, I just wanted to connect today with you to obviously understand a little bit more about yourself, and potentially there could be a good fit for both of us working together. Okay. If you want, I'll give you a bit of an overview of how we've got this set up right now. And if you're okay with it, we can take it from there. Okay.
Yeah, right on.
Great. So, well, basically, we already have 2 full-time creative strategists within the team looking to expand to a third one. So we can basically really scale this, the third pod, basically, and max out the capacity of that pod before end of year.
So right now he's talking about pods. So if you've ever worked with an agency before, this is gonna sound like weird, like pods like in Love Island or something. But what that means is he basically has multiple different teams. Okay, so if he takes on certain clients, each client is going to be assigned to a pod. So let's take pod A, for example. Pod A handles 4 clients. It has 1 creative strategist, 1 script writer, 1 video editor, and 1 manager. And then pod B has 1 of each. So that's how he's building it up here. That's how it looks like. Just for a little translation for you guys. He's breaking it down. And so many different agencies work like this. And again, why you might not have agency experience getting on one of these calls, just understanding how agencies usually operate and what they mean when they say pods. Because notice, he didn't give me a breakdown. I already know this because I've worked with agencies before in the past and I know what that term means.
And would be to most likely do kind of like an onboarding training over the course of the next month and then scale it over the next 2 months, basically. Okay. As of right now, the way the pods are structured is the strategist just focuses on the strategy itself, doesn't need to produce any content, not source any creators, doesn't do any of that.
So that's pretty fire. All you really do is make the concepts. You pick which ads go next, tell them what to do, and you don't even have to really write it. Other people are writing it and making it for you.
They just create the strategy, obviously ensure that the approval process throughout the end-to-end workflow is up to the standard of the strategy they've envisioned in the first place, and then the account management. Okay, so speaking with the brands is basically keeping them happy. Okay, so those are the...
Another great one. You're going to be speaking with the brands themselves and keeping them happy. That's super, super interesting. And honestly, that's a part where I would very much excel at. I have another interview here that I'm going to show you that's almost like the exact same business structure for the agency, but having the people skills on these is going to be super, super, super important. Me and this guy, like this guy really wanted to hire me, and I made it to the next round because here's the thing. The biggest part wasn't because of my creative strategy experience, right? You'll see here in a second, but I was totally upfront with him where I was like, I have tons and tons of copywriting, tons of marketing experience, but I want to get into creative strategy right now, okay? So I can't point towards a Meta Ads account that I built from 100K per month to $1 million a month because I'm still looking for my first opportunity in this specific lane. It's like hiring Michael Jordan to be on your baseball team, right? I mean, he knows how to run, he can jump, he's athletic, but it's like the actual field is just a little bit different, right? So do you want a guy who has been playing baseball his whole life or a guy that's an absolute killer at basketball who's trying to do some baseball now? That's kind of the position which I was in right here. So let's continue.
2 main roles and responsibilities for the creative strategist right now in the team. And yeah, I think that is kind of high level how this is working for us. So would love to hear a bit more about your experience in the creative strategy space. And then I'll probably ask you some more specific questions to understand what would your availability look like if we were to move forward.
All right, perfect. So to start off, you want just a quick overview?
Yeah, please go ahead.
All right, of course, right on. So I've been copywriting specifically in marketing for the last 5-ish years or so. So I started out in mostly doing copywriting for service-based businesses. So these are agencies, consultants. And then through there, I've actually built my own brand to help other copywriters, I guess, get a start in copywriting and marketing and things. And, through, I guess, my past experience, I have mainly focused and, I guess, excelled at the service-based business side of things. So that goes with like emails, VSLs and things. And now specifically, I want to get more honed in on D2C and creative strategy specifically, right? Because copywriting is one thing, but of course, being able to look in the ad account and have a good idea of what the winners are, what the next winners will be, is kind of what I want to really build my skills into. So I guess that's more or less an overview. So as for breaking down the answer, I give an honest answer, and everybody's answer is going to be different. If you're just starting out, your answer is kind of going to be more or less the same, other than, tell them what you do have. If you have been writing, breaking down ads every single day for the last 3 months, they want to know that. That puts you way farther ahead than the dude who I started yesterday and have no idea what's going on here. So yeah, that was the overview of the experience and how I answered it. And I also added into that answer some things that I know about people who are hiring creative strategists. See, through studying all of these creative strategy posts, hiring posts, and just creative strategy content in general, and also working with a lot of creative strategists as well in my day-to-day, I know that a lot of people have the misconception that it's just a copywriting role, that all you do is just write the ads and that's it. So I wanted to separate myself and actually point out how I would be different and how I'd approach it differently than copywriting, because you have to know the data.
Sweet, sounds good. Yeah, also one thing, just we have put together a pretty in-depth training over the past few years and the processes that we work with. So obviously, if we were to move forward, you would also go through that training to ensure that your skills are applied to the role you're going to work on and execute. Okay, so I'm sure that'd be helpful for you too. Okay.
So he basically says, I don't care. We have a training. And you're going to come across this exact same thing. And here's the other thing, dude, is he'll talk about it here a little bit after. But having somebody on who's super experienced, who has a process, who's been there and done that, that's good in a way. But the problem there is that they feel like they know it all, right? If I were to go through in this guy's business and go through the training, I would literally have it so locked in, it would be just nasty. It would just be insane because I just follow the training to a T. But for somebody who's already done all this before, they're going to think that they already know it. They don't want to repeat things, or they're going to disagree with the training or not want to do it like that. So having somebody who's more or less an empty vessel or ready and willing to learn is also very valuable in and of itself. You have big benefits and unfair advantages as a beginner that people who are highly experienced don't necessarily have. So you should lean into those. So continuing.
One thing I would like to know is, in terms of D2C, have you ever worked with e-com brand? How does your experience look like in that?
So now he wants to get even like deeper. Like, have you ever worked with a literal D2C brand? And these are the questions that most people fear, right? Where it's like, oh, I hope I don't get found out. I hope I don't get caught. You'll see here, I'm as honest as can be. And that doesn't necessarily deter him. So continuing.
Regard.
So I have never worked with a D2C brand specifically, actually. Now I have some, I guess, people that I work with who, coach some of my students and things. They're like way more D2C focused, and I'm like way more service-based focused. But yeah, that's basically the background. I've been doing some applications and some test projects over the last few weeks. And it seems to all make sense to me. I'm a pretty quick learner, and I guess you could say I'm pretty resourceful. So I've been able to, do some test projects, do some applications, and still figure some things out. And then, like I said, with the training, I think that's an even better, like, I guess, bonus just to have as well. So in short, yeah, no real straight direct D2C experience. Okay. Fire. So no real D2C experience. Okay, well, what do I do have? What is my direct experience with D2C? That's what he asked. Okay, so no, haven't worked with them specifically before, but I have done this. Right? I have been doing the applications. I have been doing the test projects. I have been getting on interviews, etc. So
obviously, for me, more important than your past experience is the test you've done, to be honest, because there's also people with a lot of past experience and then turn out to not be as good as you ever thought. So I don't really put as much weight on that.
Right.
And to be honest, I have one strategist that has the same background as you. So she did create a strategy for a long time, but never really did it for e-com, basically, or D2C. She did it for fintech and other B2B businesses and so on. And right now she is managing Pod A, and she's pretty good at it. No, so
look, bro, it's easy to think that I'm telling you what you want to hear. It's so easy to think that. Genuinely, it is. But the rest of the market confirms it, and it's hard to deny that fact. This business owner I'm talking to, great guy, great business person. He's successful. He's doing very well for himself, and I loved just hopping on the call with him in the first place. Right? He knows what he's talking about. This isn't his first day here. He's got the 2 pods already ripping, and he's adding a 3rd one on because he has like about a dozen clients plus now that he's doing creative strategy for, more or less, which is awesome, which is great. And he just told you what I've been sharing with you for the past however many hours this course has been going on for, probably for the next couple hours as well. And that is that experience is something that's great to have. It's like a cool little bonus plus. But at the end of the day, the test project itself really talks more about the experience. And he's already had, in his past, hired somebody who was very similar to me, had transferable skills, but not direct experience. And that's fine. Still a great place to be. If I would have been applying to copywriting roles, which I made the decision not to, I'd get the copywriting roles so quick, where they just want you to write emails, they want you to write advertorials, they want you to just write. I mean, that would be the biggest no-brainer ever. You mean the dude who has millions and millions of views on his copywriting videos, who's been doing this documented for 5+ years? I don't know. Should we go with him or some other dude who doesn't have all those stats? But I really wanted to genuinely go into the route of creative strategy because that's where I see the most potential. That's where I see the future really heading. So all in all that to say that you do not need experience in the direct sense in order to get a job. And some side note, some background about this position. I did get on a second call with them as well. You'll see us talk about it a little bit more. This is a $4K per month position. This is a $4K per month plus performance incentives, to where if a client sticks around for, I think it was like longer than 4 months, you get a $4K bonus. This is part of the reason why I didn't want to air out his entire identity in his pay structure and stuff. But yeah, so this is not like a super beginner, small time 1K per month role. This is a genuine, serious role. And he's saying that experience is not the end all be all.
too concerned about that. Also, one thing that is also true is we don't have the brand for your pod, and we're about to sign the first one, so it would be a progressive ramp up. So you would be also to learn as you go. You're not going to go in at full capacity and just.
And you're not even going in at full capacity. So he's going to be marketing and getting on the brands and the clients as we go. And then once they're on, I would take the first one, and it would be a very progressive ramp up, kind of like he's talking about.
You just figure it out, basically. No, it's going to be that progressively done. And in parallel, you can do the training, get up to speed with all of that. So you can do that in parallel too. Okay. My question to you is, obviously I understand you don't have much visibility on the capacity. You say you would be available to work full-time hours, but a rough estimate of how many brands you could manage? Do you have a rough idea?
So here he's just asking more like, do you have an idea of how many brands you can manage? I basically say, I don't really know how long it takes to manage a brand. Obviously, you make the creatives for them. So yeah, I also said like my efficiency would get quicker in the end as well. I'm going to skip forward here a little bit. So I gave him my answer, right?
Okay, sounds good.
Every business owner I've ever worked with does that. What you just saw there where we're sitting there for like 20 seconds and not speaking, I do it a lot too. But I'm just like kind of like deep in thought. Thinking about the future, calculating my next moves, calculating whatever, the odds, whatever it is. So the only thing there is just be really, really comfortable with silence. When people start squirming when it comes to silence, or it makes them nervous, like that just gives very, I don't know, not very great energy. So yeah, be comfortable in the silence, just chill there. It's the best spot to be. Most people think that this is like a high pressure, almost like hostage negotiation type of situation. They go into it like that. So calmness and casualness signal confidence.
So yeah, I think all of that is most of the questions I had. So just
Yeah, it makes sense. So Wednesday should be reaching out, or sorry, Thursday would be a quick call. So Thursday would be like an onboarding call or like some sort of test project sort of thing, or
no, I think it would be kind of like a quick final call to see if we're able to make the unit economics and everything work.
Bro said unit economics. He means like talk about the pay and see if it all works out. So that's pretty funny. But yeah, I did end up getting on that second call. And if you watch here, we'll just watch the rest. He basically said, yeah, no, it's basically just a call to confirm. Like that would be the call that's like, yeah, see if we'd be able to make that work. And then if so, you're on. Right. So I did get on that second call. Everything went fine. But at the end of the day, he ended up going with somebody who had a little bit more experience. That's what he told me. And his exact email read something along the lines of, hey, so this has been one of the hardest hiring decisions I've ever had to make. I really enjoyed our conversations, but we decided to go with somebody with a little bit more experience. And in the next 6 to 12 months, we'll be adding on the fourth pod as well. So maybe we'll reach back out to you then and see where you are. Now, he could have just said, sorry, we've decided to pursue other candidates like all the other businesses would say. But I genuinely think that, I was right there on the 1 yard line and somebody with more experience ended up getting the gig. Now, most people are not going to show you that. Most people are only going to come on here and show you their wins when they close. And if they ever didn't get a project, they'd be, oh no, I can't show that. But dude, you can't be hung up or crushed on any of these positions because like I said, I think so that was like about a month ago or so. And I think I had about 6 interviews since then. Some of the ones I'm showing you here now, I also have like 2 or 3 scheduled for the future. So yeah, it's really not the end of the world, not a big deal. So yeah, continuing. Let's go to the next one.
Perfect. Sounds good. How do you build a buyer persona?
That's a good one. So the last call was actually not very tactical at all. He didn't really ask me about how do you build a buyer persona, how do you start doing creative for a brand. But this one, on the other hand, is a lot more tactical, which is why I wanted to show it. And then the next one is also more tactical as well. Notice that between this one and the next one I'm going to show you, they're asking basically the exact same questions. So when it comes to interviews, you really, really just have to hone in on what you know they're going to ask you. So continuing.
When it comes to the buyer persona, there's a few kind of places that we could look. One of the main ones is, I guess, doing a little bit of competitor research to see who else is targeting that. That way we'll be able to see, I guess, a little bit of what's already working out in the market. And then would be going to do some actual real persona research, which would be things on like YouTube and things on like Reddit, and also really like product reviews, Amazon reviews. This way we can see if they've tried to fix their problems before, what are some of the things that didn't go well, or some of the things that they are looking for, and then what are their like really hyper-specific deep pain points that they would only like share on Reddit, for example. And then being able to use those, we can use those in the scripts and also in the creative as well.
Yeah, pretty straightforward. I don't know what to add to that. Pretty straightforward answer. If you are locked in with enough of the creative strategy content, you're going to have already known this. You're going to understand this stuff. You're going to know what I'm saying. It's not too detailed, right? This is from a little bit ago, so I might have answered it even more detailed right now because I've been learning a little bit more. But yeah, how do you do persona research? Well, I mean, first I would go look at the competitors who are already targeting that said persona. And then I would go and gather persona data from places where they hang out. So the examples I was using was Reddit, for example. People who suffer with back pain are going to go to Reddit and say, hey, are there any things that you guys try? They might say, oh yeah, I've tried these things, I've tried that thing, but they didn't work because. Or no, these are the things that I hear work really well, right? That way, in an ad, I can say something like, have you tried this for your back pain, that for your back pain? And the person watching is like, whoa, how does he really know what I use for my back pain? Well, it comes full circle because I already saw what you were posting and liking and upvoting on Reddit.
That's a good one. Thank you. Can you walk me through your research process for a new brand?
Yeah, absolutely. So when it comes to a research process for a new brand, I think the biggest thing, one of the first things would be to really research what's already working for them and what they're already doing. So really figuring out.
Also, as a side note, right? You should record all of your calls. It's kind of funny. It's almost like playing a sport, right? Playing a game of basketball. Whenever you're watching back game tape, you're always going to pick out parts where like, oh, I could have did that better. I could have did this better. In practice, you're always going to be better than when you're actually playing, all right? You're going to know, oh, I should have passed the ball here. I should have shot the ball right there. But that's only in hindsight. Hindsight is 100% 2020. Now, this isn't a bad call by any means. My answer is actually pretty good. But just in general, and that's why it's so important to record your calls, actually go through and review them yourself. Because then all the pressure's gone, all the thinking off the top of your head is gone, and you get to think, how would I answer that question even better today?
Who they're speaking to, what kind of language patterns they're already using. Some brands do really, really well with founder UGC ads, or someone do really well with certain types of static. So really just getting a good feel for where they already are, right?
Some brands do really well with founder UGC, some ads do really well with statics. I speak the language, right? All I'm trying to also show and add into these is that like this is not my first day on earth. And that's super important as well. You really have to know all the definitions, which you're learning here, of course, which is really nice. But you have to learn and know all the definitions like the back of your hand and use them and sprinkle them throughout your actual answers as well. Because in that way, it actually proves that you not have done this before, but at least proves that you haven't knowledge of it.
And then kind of like almost the same process that I mentioned earlier, really doing some good competitor research. So what else is working in the market and why, those patterns, and then also some persona research as well.
On a startup before or a high growth environment where you have to manage aggressive deadlines or this kind of environment in the past?
I did answer this, but you know what? I want to give another answer to this, right? As if I had no online business experience before. I could say, you know what? I joined I started construction at 16. I started the Army at 16 as well. And then I also became a security guard. Not that a security guard is by any means high stakes or quick. In fact, it's actually the opposite. You have to really learn patience there. But as for tight deadlines, staying on schedule, staying organized, the Army and construction is really where that skill is built and honed in, especially at a young age, right? That was over 10 years ago now, right? I'm 27 at the time of this recording, just turned 27. And through doing all those things, I really have learned a big thing, which is just a sense of urgency. I can tell when other people don't have it, and it almost gets on me a little bit. But a sense of urgency is something that I highly prioritize. There are lots of deadlines. We have inspection tomorrow. Everybody has to make sure that they are ready. We have lots of deadlines in construction because every day the construction goes past the deadline, the bosses are losing money. And I also even had positions where I was incentivized financially in order to make sure that things go well and actually finish early. So in short, that would be my answer. Now, I have tons of experience business-wise that translates even better, which I'm going to use and say here. But I'm trying to give you guys ways and understandings of how you always have some sort of experience that you can point to.
Or maybe in your current job.
Yeah, absolutely. So for previous experience, like with other clients, for example, we would do lots of things like webinars and challenges, right? And these have very set end dates. So we have to make sure we get as many leads in for those end dates. And those end dates obviously aren't flexible whatsoever because everyone's already waiting for them. So those are some examples there. And then also same with my own business. I mean, I have to stay very organized because there's lots of moving parts in general.
So that was that second call. So the second call also was a bust. Reason being is because I don't even know the reason, but there wasn't really a spark there like there was in the first call. Like the first call, things were good. I wanted to work with him. He wanted to work with me. The second one, I wasn't really know. She just kind of came on, asked me some tactical questions. I answered the tactical questions, and it was what it was. They really seemed like they were looking for somebody who, they seemed like they held experience at a much higher priority. They said things like, "Oh, what's the biggest ad account you've ever worked on?" So, I mean, like it doesn't really like none because, like I said, I don't have any direct D2C experience. So, continuing on.
Yeah. All good. How's it going, man?
Very good, very good.
Awesome.
How are you today?
Not too bad. It's an early one. It's 5 a.m. for me right now. So.
Oh shit. I thought I saw you in Canada. I was like, I saw you pick this song. I was like, are you in Canada or is it whatever?
Yeah. So again, coming on and being very cordial, right? The first guy was talking about, the setup. This guy's talking about the time that we met, like how's your day going and stuff. So yeah, just being very personable with them is super, super, super important, especially because this guy, right, that I'm talking to right now, and the last guy in the beginning, we're talking about having like client-facing roles where I would be handling and talking to the client. So they definitely want somebody who is likable, somebody who has the people skills for that as well. So just being able to showcase that, have the small talk, have a conversation before we actually get into the interview itself is also super important. This call ended up being a 45-minute call where we were just talking about creative. We were talking about some AI stuff that he's doing as well. So again, really good energy call too. Continuing.
Yeah. Do you normally wake up or stay up to 5 a.m. or you did it just for this?
Yeah, I have a super weird schedule. So I do wake up at 2 a.m. every day. That way I can get all my done work, and then 9 a.m. wife's up, so I can actually I feel like I have every day off basically. So.
It's not even 2 o'clock yet. I've already been up for hours. I woke up and it was still yesterday. I woke up at around like 11 a.m. something. Yeah, we grinding, bro. We grinding.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's smart.
Yeah.
If you can go to bed.
True. Yeah, if you can say no to all the plans ever, anybody who wants to hang out after 6 p.m., then yeah, it's good.
100%. I appreciate you applying. I was pleasantly surprised because I saw your YouTube channel and everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, so pleasantly surprised, both saw the YouTube channel. Now, the fastest way to get clients is definitely not build a YouTube channel over the last 5 years to multiple hundreds of thousands of subscribers and millions of views, but it's an asset that you have. And the takeaway that I want you to have here is that the 5 years are gonna pass anyways, dude. So you might as well build something big, do something big in order to just have that asset in your back pocket.
And looks like you do have quite a bit of experience as a copywriter, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Let me give you a bit of a background about us.
For sure.
Who we're looking for, see if we can potentially match.
Yeah.
But so I'm the owner. We are a fairly small marketing agency, but we do work with a variety of different customers.
Right.
We're not kind of bound to one particular industry. Well, we have e-commerce, we have B2B, we have newsletters, anything under the sun, to be honest, brick and mortar location. And that's why it's a bit challenging to jump from customer to customer, right? And kind of figure out exactly what will sell for any particular customer when it comes to creating the campaigns. So we're looking for a creative person that, yes, he's creative, can figure out angles, testing, research competitors, and all the other stuff. And we bring all the automation tools on the back end that can kind of support all of that, but also knows his way around ads manager, knows how to put some ads together. Ideally, the person that we work with, he will also have his, if you work with a person that can launch the ads for him, so you can create the ads, you can do the output, but you don't have to do the manual work of putting everything together.
Okay.
But that can be easily automated. But that's kind of the person who we're looking for. Now, in terms of our agency, in the next 1.5 to 2 years, I'm planning on expanding and just growing the agency as much as possible, tremendously.
Right.
And that will happen, one, through automation, and then second, through really, really good people.
Right.
I'm more than happy if I have the right people on board to either give equity, pay as much as possible. I mean, if you're net positive, of course.
Yeah, of course.
It makes sense. I see that you're kind of very, I've looked through your YouTube videos, you're possibly a very likable person as well. That's kind of first impression that I got. So maybe later on, client communication, sales, or anything like this would also be on the table if that's something that I would.
So he was even talking about here, the other thing that was funny is that everybody has like their main master plan, in the next 6 months, 1 year, we're going to scale to the moon, which is good, which is great. You definitely don't want to get on with a business that's like, yeah, no, we're not scaling, we're actually shrinking, but we want you on. So yeah, that's all good. He's talking about like he even wants to have somebody almost like on a partnership type of level where they even have equity at stake as well. So he likes that. That's a good idea as well, which is great. And he was talking about likability, right? He came across the YouTube. His first impression was that I'm likable, so he could do some client-facing things and then also even some sales. Now, I'm not necessarily looking to be sales guy necessarily, but you know, if the opportunity is right, I mean, we'll see. I'm we'll see. I don't know. I don't know if that would be really me, but continuing.
You'd love to explore. So, that's awesome. Now, in terms of operating when it comes to advertising, what is your normal path of researching a potential customer? Obviously now AI things are maybe a little bit easier, but what I have found is I've had a lot of people in the past couple of months, some stick, some don't execute, and AI definitely makes things a lot easier. But the problem, you know this better than me, especially with copywriting, is that if you don't push the AI to the right direction, or you don't recognize what kind of copy is actually decent, it's just to put AI garbage out.
You know what you guys are getting right here? You guys are getting the most insane, in-depth persona research ever. We are building a persona of somebody who's hiring a creative strategist. You are already doing creative strategy by watching this video. You're taking notes on exactly what this niche of people want. What are their wants? What are their fears? What are their desires? What are their overall dreams? They really want to scale big, take on more clients in the future. They want somebody who knows how to use AI to improve efficiency without decreasing effectiveness. They, don't want somebody who comes on and says that they're really good and they don't want to make a bad hire. By just trusting in somebody's quote unquote experience, they want to put more priority on the actual knowledge and what they can demonstrate. Those are all just parts of points. And the thing that he's talking about here is, the AI thing, right? So he's like, you probably know better than me when it comes to AI copywriting. Of course I do, and then I can bake this into my answer as well. Just give a really good answer that also I can tell that it's going to relate to him very well.
Great. So how do you research, and how do you kind of end up with some copy? Let's just assume headlines for now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, for sure. No, I definitely agree. People try to like outsource their skill 100% to like ChatGPT, and then of course it reads like anybody who's used it for even a second can really tell what the language patterns are like, which kind of hurts. So as for research, I'm going to go like persona research specifically because that's what you were asking about. What it would look like is really getting a good lay of the land. So seeing what the brand is already doing, who they're already speaking to, and if they already have some persona research done, I mean, that would be the first thing, understand that. And then if there's a certain persona that we're kind of going after, or maybe we're researching a little bit more, then my main, goal would be to be looking for hyper-specific phrases and speech patterns on wherever they're hanging out. So, I mean, old people are probably going to hang out on Facebook, more particularly. Younger people maybe on places like TikTok or YouTube, but just doing some research that way. Reddit's also another good one. ChatGPT, I mean, like you can ask it some stuff, but at the end of the day, it only really knows what it can Google. I guess it's not really going to be doing the whole scouring the internet thing for you. And then after that, like I said, looking for specific language patterns, really hyper-specific ways of how they feel, what their genuine problems are. Also, another great one is product reviews, right? So for the people who are already solution aware, they might have tried something before, it didn't work out the way that they wanted it to. So like what were the exact same things that they struggled with, or that a lot of these solutions struggle with, because then we can use that in our marketing too. Dang, this dude cooked. So these interviews were like maybe a week or two apart, I believe. So they weren't that far apart. And as you can see, my answer actually got better. Now, also on this call, I felt like I was vibing with the dude better, vibing more. But yeah, this was a lot more of a chill call. So I felt like I was able to just give a better answer. There was a little bit less pressure as well. So yeah, that was my answer. Not much to say about it, right? I went a little bit more in depth on this one, to talk about persona research, actually going and understanding them, how I'm going to understand them, how I'm going to understand their language patterns, their speak patterns, how they describe their problem, how to describe what they want their solution to be, etc. So what you just witnessed was a whole bunch of interviews, and then me actually going down and breaking down the common questions in those interviews. So what you need to do with this is you need to have an answer for every single thing that every question they asked me is going to be a very common question. So you need to have your answers figured out beforehand, and I highly recommend you do some role plays and role playing. Now, that basically looks like you getting on a call with somebody else who's doing this as well and going through the motions, right? I'm the interviewer. You're the person getting interviewed. I'm going to ask you the questions. You're going to answer them. It's much better to do that than get on here and look like a deer in the headlights. And easiest way to do that is just join the Discord server or join the 4D school. They're both free. You'll meet other copywriters, other people who are starting, and you can go in and do the role plays. Maybe they have some of their recordings they can share with you, and you can have some recordings from calls that you can share with them. You can all just get better together. Anyways, that's it for now. Now back to the course content. Okay, guys, those were my interviews. Hopefully you got tons of value from it. You can see exactly what type of questions they're asking me, and they're all asking basically more or less the same questions. Questions about the background, questions about, hey, so what do you do when you're on with a new brand? How do you come up with angles for them? I mean, it's all the questions that I've already showed you. So now, right, it's putting it all together and doing a very quick overview, a walkthrough. So you build your portfolio, right, which I showed you how to do. And I also had this live where I'm going over people's portfolios as well. Find and categorize applications, you apply, and then you do the test projects. That's basically it. Inside of here, I also have a bunch of test projects that you can actually look at. So these are a bunch of test projects you can do. Once you do these test projects, you can also add them to your own creative strategy portfolio. I mean, so that's another reason as to why all of this is so valuable. Again, linked for free in the description. So how to scale clients and your income. All right, let's say you have already gotten your client, right? You actually followed this video and you did what it said for 60 to 90 days and you're starting to get some clients. Your first client is always gonna be the hardest you'll ever land. You had no proof or results or testimonials. You were asking someone to be your guinea pig, basically. Every client after that is so much easier. Not a little bit easier, a lot easier. Because now you have proof. And proof changes every single conversation that you have from that point forward. Your second client took maybe weeks instead of months. Your third client came from a referral, and your fourth actually reached out to you, became an inbound lead because they might have saw your profile or saw something that you're already posting. That's the compounding effect of doing good work and getting and letting it stack. So the first thing I want you to understand about scaling is that the momentum you build after client one makes everything after it move way faster than expected. It's like a mountain, right? At first, you're fighting an uphill battle, but after that first client, then it's all smooth sailing from there. Then you also have to think about the long game, the bird's eye view of what it actually looks like over time. Month 1 and 2, you're grinding, you're doing applications, test projects, first client, and you're figuring out your workflow, how to actually do it. Your first client is teaching you the ropes. Month 3 is where you're stabilizing. Your first client is running smoothly, rate conversions are happening, and their second client is coming in. Month 4 to 6, you're compounding. 2 or 3 more clients, you're getting referrals maybe, your rates start increasing. The applications you're sending are now landing faster because now you have proof. You're getting on way more interviews. Bro, there are dudes getting on interviews almost every day or every second day. It's just nuts. The other day, I was in the 4D Bootcamp Lounge, which is just a private community that I have. And one of the guys was like, oh crap, I have an interview in 4 minutes. I completely forgot. It's like you'll just have that many interviews and that many opportunities to where you're just doing them consistently. Month 6 to 12 is where you start to get selective, right? And this is how you scale right here. You have walkaway power. I was actually on the call yesterday with a potential client on an interview, and he was talking about how so many creative strategists are so picky, right? And he was explaining the gig to me, and he was like, like it's only 40K pounds a year. Something like that. It's about 4,000 pounds per month, give or take. That's about like 5K US per month. He's like, man, that's only 5K per month. And he's like, you might be a little bit too qualified. Because if you really look at it from their perspective, right? Creative strategists know how in demand they are, especially ones that are super proven. So they get picky. They want to be little princesses and only do the work that they want to do, only work 10 to 20 hours per week. So if you're really actually willing to grind, you can just blow past everybody and then you can start being picky eventually as well. That's the trajectory. That's basically it. And now you come to a fork in the road. It's like, do I do the work? Do I watch another video? Do I say I'm going to do it tomorrow? First of all, if you made it to the end of the video, congratulations. Go down and comment the keyword genie. And then only you and me and the people who actually finished the video will know what we're talking about. The people who haven't, they have no idea. I want to see how many people actually finish this thing. Because I can tell you that there's probably going to be lots of views, but only a few people actually commenting genie because a few people actually finishing it. But I also want you to take the action. And when you're taking so much action and you finally get results, make sure you share them. Because just like all the people who shared their results throughout this entire presentation, they're inspiring you. And so you can be somebody else's inspiration and pay it forward. And I think that's the most fulfilling part of the whole thing. Money's great. It's awesome. I'm not going to pretend it's not. But money fixes money problems. But paying it forward makes you fulfilled. So, my friends, go out there, make it happen. I'll be here rooting for you. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.